Therapy Army. URT. Who are we? URT. We're having it. Welcome to the United Real Therapy, people. There's a structure here. Let's be having you up the Reds. Up the Reds. I don't care how United play tomorrow. I don't give a damn about how we play. Win is a win. But big up to everybody. How we're doing. Bombaye is about. Better watch out. We've got a packed show for you tonight, people, but let's be having you. Bombaye, how you doing?
Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. Big up the Therapy Army. Big up the Palestinians. Down with Israel. How's that?
Yeah, we're having some of that all day,
Good.
every day. Talk to me about your day. How was your day in the woods?
Oh, blessed, man. Beautiful. What a magnificent weather today it was. I had my sandals and my shorts on. Uh, went and had ice cream for lunch. Just roaming around with deer in the forest today. Beautiful. Just, you know how I like to do it, man. Like that. Just took the family out and yeah, really nice, man. Really nice. Cannot complain. How was your day? No doubt you were representing today as usual, yeah? You're on mute, bro. You're muted.
There we go, we're here. Yeah, the day was good, man. Big up to you, man. Out in the woods is about. Better watch out. Bombayers are everywhere, man. Big up to everybody in the chat, by the way. Day was good, man. It's saying officially it's the last day of summer, innit? But I was in the sun. You can see my face, man. I'm all shiny, man. I'm shining. I've been
You're
in the
always
sunshine,
shining,
yeah.
man. You're always shining.
Listen, we're out here, man, getting that vitamin D. If you know. But yeah, we went and did a protest. We did a show last night. We were live on Saeed's channel. People were shouting at people telling just Sancho to F off and all of that. We heard that he signed for Chelsea, so it was a mad one last night. But big up,
Do you know, I
man.
was thinking about Sancho just before this show, and I was thinking, do I want to? Nah, he's a young lad. You know, I'm not going to say anything bad about the kid. He's flopped at our place, and it's best that he leaves because he's not a Man United player. So good luck to him. Hopefully, he can do well for them. But I'm glad he's gone, man. Because you know what I mean. He's not a bad. He's not a good presence for us, and it's not working out. We need to move forward, move on, move past that type of. Eric Ten Hag to me is the most important thing now. You're on mute. You're muted.
It's the big one tomorrow. Talk to me. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about the game
Confident.
today? And what about the games today? Did you watch any of the games? Did you see any of the results?
I seen the results, but I was out all day. I didn't watch any football today. I saw Declan Rice's red card.
That is a mad red card. I don't care
Oof.
what anybody says.
Yeah, that's a
Yo,
bit.
that's a mad. That's a mad
Don't know
one.
what people think in the comments, but I was waiting for something to actually happen. But phew, you know, what I mean, that was about Haaland. 69 games, 69 goals. You know, guy's just a goal scoring monster. He's putting up Ronnie and Messi numbers. I think
That's
that's
crazy.
11 hat tricks. He's 23 years old. It's unbelievable what that kid's doing. Uh, just going off topic a bit. Marseille today win 2-0. Who scores both goals?
Yeah,
Uncle
he's been on fire. He's been on fire.
man.
Greenwood's been on
Listen,
fire.
it's. I'm actually just tuning in just to know about that how he's getting on, and I will with Napoli. But man, of all the players you have ever mentioned, this is the one that I am most aggrieved about, more than Ravel, more than Paul, more than all of them. This one is one of the best players I've ever seen come out for Man United. What he's done every time he gets the ball, I get the feeling of excitement. He just has that. He's an unreal finisher, striker. The kid is just a magnificent player, you know, and that will always be a little bit of a lump in my throat. But you know, he messed up, and that's life. But I still watch him from a distance, and you know, as just football purely, I just enjoy the boys watching him play. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, he's a brilliant player, but
Yeah,
there
it
was
is
no
what it
way
is. That's yeah.
unless him and his partner were gonna come out and explain those images. He was never coming back to Manchester United.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to explain that. They had to come and explain it. Yeah. They had to
Have
come
you
back.
heard about the there's going to be so much extra police at Old Trafford tomorrow? Do you know why?
Why?
Have you not heard it?
No.
Because there's going to be a murder, bro. We're going to murder somebody.
I doubt it, but you know.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm pretty confident. I'm not scared of this game.
Wow.
I'm really looking
Wow.
forward to it, man. I'm telling you, I think
Wow. Wow. Don't
Eric
buy
is
it's not messing about.
Mm-mm.
Don't buy it's not messing.
No, I have faith in Eric Ten Hag, man. I really do. I really liked the press conference today. I don't know if you guys in the comments watched it. Get your comments in below. Let us know what you thought. I thought he handled it really well. You know, he holds his own, man. I've got to say, and when I think about Eric Ten Hag, the amount of shit this guy's put up with since he's been here, no other manager has put up with the amount of garbage he's put up with. And because he's the Man United manager, you know he gets extra hatred on him. Every other manager's is the darling of the media right now. But if Sloth tomorrow gets clarted, we'll see how the media will change. The media has no allegiance to nobody, but they always giving our manager just a rough ride. So let's see. I can't wait for it. Biggest game in English football, this, or one of the biggest games in world football. Everybody's going to tune in. I mean, it don't matter if we were both in relegation. This is a massive game. First game I look for.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
go on.
definitely.
Let's get to it.
So finally, your boys finally out of the football club. But anyway, to me, the biggest thing about this game is that I'm not really asked about how United play. I'm asked about the result. The bragging rights are more important than anything else.
Yeah,
Big up
this
to
is a game
everybody in
to
the
win.
chat.
Yeah.
Listen, big up to everybody in the chat. We'll talk about the game, and then head to about the transfer window and how it closed, and think about what he said. And apparently, there's news from the Athletic that Eric Ten Hag did not want Ugarte, so it's going to be very interesting to see how he uses Ugarte. If Ugarte plays, and see what happens. Please don't talk for the City reject. Flamcho, the toxic thing will play at Chelsea. Hey, I heard that he's a Chelsea fan anyway, so I'm happy for him that he's gone to Chelsea. But for me, Chelsea sold us a fucking dud, Mason fucking man for 60 million, and we're begging them for a guy that actually was partly responsible for taking his team to the Champions League last season. Was one of the better players last season at Dortmund. So that's what we're doing, and we're buying 60 million mount to fucking get injured again when he was out all of last season practically. It's a fucking joke. We are Chelsea's little bitches, but we'll come to that at the end because we're minor little boys. We're Chelsea's little bitch. We'll come to that at the end. I don't give a fuck where he goes, Sancho. But the money for me, that's the biggest piss take. Where we've given Chelsea boy number fucking 7 the most iconic fucking shirt and gave them 60 million. You're taking me fucking piss. That really pissed me off. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I tell it, and I tell it to your face as well. I don't care what you say. To me, if Mason Mount didn't happen, Sancho can go wherever he wants. I'm not asked. He'll go to Liverpool if he wants. I'm not asked about anything. But to me, the biggest thing is the way Chelsea have treated Manchester United with the Mason Mount. It's disturbing to me how anybody fucking said yes to that shit. But anyway, tomorrow's game, I'm expecting, in terms of the style of play, Arne Slot, he actually plays similar. Arne Slot football, and that's one of the cleverness about Liverpool. Liverpool don't just go and choose managers. They don't just get any Tom, Dick, and fucking Harry. They choose specific managers. He plays slightly different, but 70 to 80%, they play the same way. He just likes maybe 20. The 20% Arne Slot is going to bring to Liverpool is that he likes a bit more possession and a little bit more control. Well, Jurgen Klopp was like, go for it. That hard, like, kind of football that really goes for it. Arne Slot is more of a, like, like, he's more of a calmer, like, let's have control of the game. Let's dominate. You know what? There's still Liverpool. You know, Liverpool will still go up the pitch. They will still have like the split centre halves. They will still play out from the back. They will still, when they sustain up the pitch, more possession up the pitch, they will still play halfway line. But he just likes a little bit more insurance in terms of when they lose the ball. He wants them to hunt the ball down a bit more with a bit more intensity. Yeah, but his main thing is possession game, but with intensity. And that is like so much similar to Klopp. And he also said like Liverpool won't play like keep ball, but would seek to hurt the opponents with their possession. You know what I mean? So he's not a guy who is thinking, okay, he's not trying to get stray away a lot from what Jurgen Klopp was doing. He's not. He just likes a bit more possession, a little bit more control, especially when they lose the ball. So expect tactical fouling, expect tactical fouling, and expect like the intensity of each player goes up. Now, Liverpool, they did that already. They were doing that. But Liverpool, the way they were played, they played a really high line on the Klopp, and they would go for it. Like, go for it. And even if they concede goals, Klopp didn't really mind the goals he conceded because he always knew he had better players up the pitch that could win in the game. But this Arne's lot, they don't really concede that many goals. They don't. Have they conceded a goal in this? Actually, they haven't. They haven't conceded a goal. Liverpool haven't conceded.
Yeah, who've they played?
They played Ipswich, and then they played.
Right.
They played Brentford at home.
Yeah, Brentford, man. Yeah, they're not exactly playing the best of the best so far.
Now, Brentford are a decent team, to be fair, but
Yeah,
Liverpool didn't give them a sniff. And the thing about it, their lineup, I think Gravenberch is a big player for them in midfield. He doesn't like Hendo. So, he's playing Gravenberch in midfield. He's playing McAllister, and he's playing Szoboszlai in midfield. Those three are the players who are playing in midfield. And then the teams are Jota in the middle, Diaz, who's on fire out left, and then Salah on the right. And Salah and Diaz and Trent have been brilliant players for them. So big up. Yeah, big up to Elite Baller. Always encouraging people to like the video. Listen, there's nearly 200 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, gang. Let's do this, people. Let's do this. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate you always for the support. Elite Baller. But yeah, in terms of Manchester United, we're still figuring out how we really want to play.
Yeah, still early, bro.
Still early, but for me, they've already in a pattern. They already are in a pattern. You know what I mean? That's the thing about it. That's what's scary about it for me. You know what I mean?
Look, don't forget,
they're already at it.
My man there's a big difference between what the two managers are coming into. And I'd even say that about Klopp and Pep. So Pep Guardiola comes into a side with guys that are Champions League semi-finalists every year, top four with these, already won 2 titles, mentality set. You got Aguero, you got De Bruyne, you got Sane, you got Sterling, you got Otamendi, you got Fernandinho, I think, companies there. Do you know what I mean? The team is set. He takes that team. He doesn't have to build a mentality, get them over the line for their. You don't have to do none of that. Klopp has given him a very tidy team. Very, very. They got probably the best depth in attack along with City in Premier League football. They're fresh off winning things and getting 90 points. Our club, a manager's coming in to a ragtag of 11 years of not even a sniff of a title or a Champions League. There is no remnant of anybody that even knows the standard and what it takes to win that. He has to rebuild all of that. And as the time goes by, it gets harder and harder and harder because winning that first one, it's like England win their one trophy, international. It opens the door. You start to believe, you start to think, all right, we actually can do this. We're good enough. Arsenal are looking like they're getting closer and closer and closer. But even if you don't win it this year, you know he's on the right track because it is not easy to dislodge a Man City. So Slot, yeah, he'll come in, but everything's primed for him. Like, what do they need? There's one thing that they could have bought in this window that probably they didn't, a 6, a natural Fabinho. Otherwise, what do they need? Look at the defense. They got 4 centre backs. They got 2 in each position at the back. They got loads of midfielders. Look at the front line: Nunes, Salah, Elliott, Gakpo, Jota. do you know what I mean? It's a strong side. We're trying to build, so there is a difference there.
Now, big up to Sheikh Arian Rashid, man. Big up. This is Eric Ten Hag. I said no only have we have progressed. We also won trophies. Our team play is very subjective. Wow. So somebody asked me about the style of play. And then he said, so there's only one thing in football, and that's about the end of the season. And if you win prizes, trophies or not. Interesting. Eric, listen, behind City, we have won the most trophies in the last 2 years. So we perform better than anyone else. Those are the facts. Hey, he's having it.
Who's joining us tonight? Who's that?
Yeah, Lesso is here already. Pick up Lesso. Yeah, we want to win trophies. I'm quite confident we'll build on this. Big up. Jaden Sancho says, thank you to all the fans, staff, teammate, Man UFC, wishing everyone the best future. Big up team. Tom's about, better watch out. Big up, Tom.
Big up.
How you doing? Tom. Listen, Lesso, where are you? Are you in the woods?
Yeah, you breathing heavy. Are you with somebody?
Bro, try again. Anyway, big up to you. Big up, Tom. Nemanja Matic. Listen, Nemanja Matic, you've not won a fucking league title, you prick. At Manchester United, you were shit as well. Stop chatting shit to me about how good McTominay is.
So let's calm down. You're talking about a class player there,
mate. Dickheads, they all sucking. Listen, Nemanja might go and suck your mum, man. Fuck off. I'm not asked. These dickhead players, ex-players, want us to be so shit. They want deadwood players to be on the fucking team. Get the fuck out of here with this shit, man. Yeah, I wish him well. I wish Scott McTominay really well. I wish he does amazing things. Go and win a league title with fucking Napoli, right? He couldn't do it at Manchester United. So fuck off with your talk, man. Nobody wants to know what you got to say. These dickheads piss me off. Sucking off Scott McTominay like he's some... You wouldn't think we saw Ronaldinho. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here with that talk.
Man.
Get out of
here.
Man. Get out here, man. Honestly, these players, honestly, my opinion, Manchester made a mistake selling Scott McTominay. It's difficult to replace a player like him. What have you been watching? The guy's not even a first-team player, mate. He's the guy who comes on the last 15 minutes to crash in the box. What are you talking about?
No, I disagree with you, Nuruddin. I think that's a good statement. I agree with it. I'd have kept him as a squad player. And the reason I'd have kept him is not because he's a world-class player, but what he's saying there is Scott McTominay, man, is a consummate pro. He comes in and does a job. I don't need
consummate pros. You know what
you need squad players.
No. Listen,
like Tom said last week, what did Tom say about Scott McTominay?
I need players who can...
I concur with that.
You know what? Players who can scan, players who can control a football, players who can pass the ball. That's what I need. I don't need Terminators to run around. No, mate. Football, you have to have a certain level of technical ability. He doesn't have it. I'm sorry. You get the ball in the mixer, he'll stick his head or toe in it. No, man, I'm not about that. Let me just get this. Sandro Martinez, I've won titles, you know that. I've won the national team, including really important World Cup. But I want more. Listen, come on now. Listen, you need to stay fit, man. I can't defend you. You forget about winning shit. You need to stay fit. Big up, Tom. Tom, tomorrow, what are you thinking? It's only one of the two games that I'm not asked about how Manchester United play, really. It's just a result, really. Sometimes we play shit and then we win. There are times where we played really well and lost, you know what I mean? So performance don't mean that much to me. But yeah, let me just get everything. I know what it means for every Manchester United to face Liverpool, and we have to take the responsibility. We're excited to host them, compete with them, and beat them. Okay, but what are you thinking about tomorrow? What's your head telling you? What's your heart telling you about the game? What type of a game do you think is in store tomorrow?
Basketball is the first word that comes to mind. I do think it's just going to be that end to end. I don't think either team's really going to hold back. I'm not going to lie. Listen, Liverpool, to be fair to them, have had 2 decent results against Ipswich and Brentford. But I think in that Brentford game, when they left that space in behind, Brentford if they had, I would have said probably Tony in that starting lineup. I think they would have killed Liverpool, especially on transitions, and if they'd have put balls in the box to him, because they were there. There was opportunities in that game for Brentford. They just couldn't capitalise on them. Now, Manchester United are a little bit different in that aspect, where we do have players that can run in behind, that can cause them problems. And in particular, there's a couple of players that this Liverpool team haven't faced before. If you play Rashford on the wing, that Liverpool team know how to do with Rashford. They've done it for like 5-6 years now. So it's going to be nothing new. Garnacho's a little bit different because he's not played many games against this Liverpool team, against those players. And the big two that I'm more positively about towards this game, that I think, for me, are going to have a positive impact for us, if he should start them from the start, is probably going to be Ahmad and Xerxes. And for me, out of all of the players that we have at the disposal right now, those are the two, especially in the attacking third, guys, that I think we have to start in this game if you want to have any joy or success. Because Xerxes is going to link that play up, and he's going to bring a lot of those other players into play. Fernandes, I think, will have a better game with Xerxes in the team if he passes to him. They have to have a relationship. They have to pass to one another, and they have to work with one another. The difference that I'm seeing for this game is I just want to see an element of control, discipline from the team. I don't want this silliness playing 50-yard passes, guys. I'm done with that side of football. I want to see it 5-yard passes, movement. Let's have some patterns. Let's try and break Liverpool down. Not just transition on them. We know we can be... Any team at this level can transition on teams, guys, and score goals. It's a tactic. I've always said this, and I said that from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's time. Counter-attacking and transition is a tactic. It is not a style of play. When I want to see with this Liverpool game is, I want to see us play the ball around them in midfield. I want to see us run at them in the wide areas and be direct. Yeah, if you have to take a couple of risks, take a couple of risks, guys. Play a little flick around the corner and see if it comes off. Just try some things that we've not seen before. That's what I want from this game. But for me, I personally, I might be more optimistic than other people. I just got a funny feeling that our boys are going to turn up tomorrow. I don't know why. I've just got a funny feeling that I think they're going to turn up. And they're going to give this Liverpool team the hardest game that they've had all season. And for me, when I especially look at where we've probably been a little bit more improved in sort of probably from last season to the start of this season, is when we get the ball on the transition, guys, and we do run at teams, we look like we can do something. When when Ahmad makes those little runs inside, guys, or he takes players on, it gets you off the edge of your seat. The same thing with Xerxes when he makes a couple of movements or he puts a pass together, guys, or a little flick round the corner. We've said the same thing with Garnacho. When he comes off the bench or if he starts, he'll run at people. He'll give us something different. And that's what I want. And in this game, guys, and I only say this in games where you probably play a team like Liverpool because of the rivalry of it. For me, tactics in games like this, probably when you get to about 10 minutes, guys, probably fly out the window. And it's about who wants it more. Do you want to have a fight? Or do you want to lay down on the floor and get played around? For me, I don't care if you have to take a yellow card in the first 10 minutes. Stick it on somebody. Impose yourself on somebody. If you need to do it, Croc Salah. Take a yellow card. If you want to take one of the midfielders, do it. Have a bit of spite. Have a bit of bite. It's that kind of game where I don't want players to shy away and be bullied from it. Rise to the occasion and play for the club crest that's on your fucking chest. That's what I want to see from players tomorrow. So, yes, flicky, tricky sort of work can be brilliant, yeah. But I want to see work rate. I want to see desire. And ultimately, guys, I want to see us fucking win. That's the most important thing tomorrow. And yeah, what said I agree with, in part. Performance probably doesn't mean as much in this fixture. It's the result that counts. But for me, I want to see us play good against Liverpool and fucking win. Because it's been a while that I've seen us do that. Where I can sit back and say, do you know what? I think we played brilliant for 90 minutes against Liverpool. And I think we deserve to win. That's what I want to see. I'm cautiously optimistic, and I think we will win.
Yeah, big up, Tom. Elso, are you there? Elso,
Yeah,
are you there? Listen, how do you see tomorrow's game, man? Talk to me. Talk to me. People, please, over 200 of you in here, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. There's a poll running. Have you liked the video? It really helps the channel out. We're shadow banned because we shout out, you know, we're here for the resistance that are resisting Zionism and imperialism and militarism in the Middle East, for Lebanon, for Syria, for Palestine, for Sudan, for the Congo, for everywhere where people are oppressed in this world. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not, become part of the community that are here. Solidarity is something big and beautiful on this channel. And the powers that be don't like it. So people, like the video. It's the least you could do. I'm not asking you to join, become a member on any of that. I'm not asking for any of that. Just fucking like the video. Go ahead. How do you see the game tomorrow? What kind of a game do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, I think I agree with Tom in terms of I think both teams won't hold back. And yes, there are places where Liverpool should be exploited. You know, I've been also watching them their first two games. And it's only due to the manager being there like just recently. You know, I've always said this, that there's no excuse in not being able to outmaneuver a manager who's just recently got into the Premier League. Tanaka has been here for the third. This is his third season, honestly. So Slot has only just got in here recently. So whether he has a team that has the mentality to do, or rather to win and so forth, that should not be an excuse for us to, you know, not be able to go out there and perform and actually, you know, give them trouble or even beat them per se, because you know you've got a manager who's just now experienced in the Premier League. We had a manager who's been here for, you know, more or less should know this league. Um, you know, right now I mean that's just self-explanatory. You know, we shouldn't even be going through this, to be honest. But I'm expecting the players to rise to the occasion first and foremost. You know, this is a derby. I think if he loses this one, he's in deep trouble. You know, the pressure at the moment is everyone is just, you know, I'd say they're very cagey. You know, at the moment within the fan base, everyone is cagey, and then they've lost confidence. I would even go as far as to say, um, people are now, you know, they're very down at the moment in terms of the transfer window. So it's not a good look at the moment for on both sides, you know, on both Ineos and, you know, Ten Hag at the moment. With Jadon Sancho going, and basically us not responding by actually bringing in someone
One
to
second,
replace
Lester.
him.
One second. Big up Mina. Big up Sister Queen. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, you'll see me at OT tomorrow. Big up. Go ahead, Lester. Carry.
Big up to Mina. Um, yeah, definitely. You know, at the moment, you know, people want some sort of, you know, I would say something positive to come out of this, because you know we're very thin up front. Let's not forget this. I think people forget that as much as Sancho, you know, was not really a big part of what Ten Hag wanted to do, we still cannot be affording to actually get rid of someone and then not replacing them. At this point, we're very weak up front. We already needed a striker. We've got rid of someone who can play, basically who can play up in all three positions up front. So, you know, that's gonna hurt us. That's still gonna hurt us during the season. Right now, we may not see it because it's still the beginning of the season, but down the line, we're gonna be having this discussion right now. But I'm hoping for us to actually pick up three. For me, it's 3 points or nothing. I'm not taking a draw. You know, just based on because we lost to Brighton, I would have taken a draw if we had actually got a better result against Brighton. But right now, we cannot be affording to take a point. You know, I mean, 3 games in, you're in your 3rd season, and you only have 4 points from 3 games. It's not good. It's not a good look. And, you know, the pressure is only going to build from here. You know, games are going to come thick and fast. There's going to be even injuries because the way we play football, anyways, guarantees injuries. So it's going to get peak. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to get worse. And so that is why we need to be in a better position. I think even for Tanak's sake, he needs to be in a better position going into the coming games that are gonna come after the international break and everything. So we'll see what happens, but we should I think we should be getting 3 points from this game. We should be aiming for at least 3 points. You know, I'm not having this.
Yeah, big up. Listen, like I said, I'll explain it again. The difference between Arne Slot and Jurgen Klopp is not that different. The only thing about it is that he's actually defensively, he likes what his team to do. So he likes them to play with a lot of intensity and a lot of aggression with Jurgen Klopp. And also, I think towards the end of Jurgen Klopp, I think he was tired. And the players became tired of the same kind of team talk and stuff. So obviously, a fresh face, fresh ideas. I think Liverpool definitely, he's going to rise out of a couple of people already, like change the things. He didn't want another midfield. Well, they wanted Supermendy, but he denied him. And that's what I like about Liverpool. They don't rush to somebody else. They know the type of player they want, but they're like, okay, we'll wait and find another player who's similar like him, and then we'll get them. But obviously, they signed Chiesa. That's the only player they've signed for 10 million. He was fantastic, like 2020 season. You know, he was incredible. Obviously, Italy won. He was one of the best players for Italy. But Arne Slot, the build-up might be slightly different. The way they transition through the midfield into attack might be slightly different. But they want to hold a bit more possession. And the thing about what Klopp wanted was more like heavy metal kind of football at times, where he wasn't asked about if people conceded. You know what I mean? Yeah, big up Jamie Wayne. I know Jamie Wayne. I know everybody's telling me how amazing McTominay is. But in terms of the game tomorrow, I expect Liverpool to attack us. I think United might have to pick their moments. But yeah, like you, Tom, I would want them to play football, like get in their faces and play football. By the way, Ugarte is not registered. Of course, it's not fucking registered. But we're going to come up to story. I've got a bit of sensational news for you tonight, people. I don't know if any of you saw it already. The Athletic are reporting that Erik ten Hag didn't want to let Scott McTominay go and didn't want Ugarte. So it's going to be very interesting. We're going to be watching how much Ugarte gets playing time because the manager didn't want him and it was a club signing apparently. So we'll talk to you about it in a minute. But yeah, I expect United levels of performance to be a lot better. Those cowards, I expect them to turn up tomorrow, and I expect hopefully they will turn up because the mistakes and the errors that we made against Brighton was fucking shocking. It was worse than the Saturday League standard, the goals that we conceded. And the way we couldn't even just dink the ball over the top for somebody to run onto it when they played a high line. I don't know, guys. I was at a protest, so did they play a high line today? Or did they change the tactics at the Emirates? Even though Rice got sent off, I had Rice was eating basmati. Rice got sent off, and Arsenal are already out of the Arsenal fans are already having meltdowns. I looked at Twitter when I was on the protest a little bit, and honestly, I was like, "What are you laughing at?" People are asking me in the what are you laughing at, and I was like, "Arsenal fans having meltdown, mate. Never change, Arsenal fans. Never bloody change." But so tomorrow's game, the game that I'm expecting is that Liverpool will come out, Arne Slot will come out, try to obviously, like I said, Gravenberch being played as that central holding kind of midfielder. It's going to be very interesting, kind of like ball playing midfielder. He doesn't play Endo. And I said Diaz, Salah, and Trent are on fire for their team. But Jota is a finisher. Diaz and these guys are on the bench. You know, Diaz is on the bench. The Dutch guy, I forgot his name now. The left winger, he's on the bench. You know what I mean? Diaz starts, Salah starts, Jota starts. So I expect those guys to start tomorrow. Kone at the back and with Van Dijk, and then Trent right back, Robertson left back, Addison in net. And the midfield is Gravenberg, Szoboszlai, and McAllister. So they've got a better team. They've got a better functioning team. They've got a better team than Manchester United. So I think they're going to come out and try to see what they're doing. And it's not Manchester United. They think they have many threats, but one of them is the counter-attack. So we've been talking about control of the things that you want to prevent the counter-attack. Interesting. Ten Hag saying, we have a squad for more than 11 players. We need a rotation throughout the season to keep everyone fit. Well, we shall see. We shall see. Aaron McGowan definitely play an important role for us. Very happy with him, and he's back in the England squad. Okay. It is what it is. Yeah. Big up, people. Keep smashing the likes. These are some of the quotes coming out of Ten Hag. We have a big ambition for the club leadership, finally. The team, for the team, definitely. So everyone sees the potential. And now we have to work hard to achieve the targets. Yeah. Just saying jargon PR stuff, man. Listen, fuck the talk, man. Show me on the fucking football pitch. Talk is cheap, man. Show me on the football pitch, man. Don't chat shit to me about, we need to do this, we need to do that. You ain't doing shit. But yeah, well, listen, we're going to talk about what I think, my point of view, my 2 pence about how the transfer went. There's a couple of more deadwood for me. The fact that Lindelof is still at the fucking club. Eriksen's still at the football club. The shambles to me, but that's just me. I understand they can't do everything in the first window. I understand that. But still, we could have got them out and got some really good deals. But it is what it is. Nura, what do you make of Kukone? Well, he's young, innit? He's young, and I've never seen him play. I've seen a little combination on YouTube, and I never go off that. I never go off a little bit highlights on YouTube. He's a young player. Let's see how he adapts to the country, how he adapts to English football. Then we'll be talking. But it looks like he's got really some good qualities. So in the game tomorrow, I expect it to be Liverpool, like if Slot said, want to have control. And I expect Liverpool not to be going as gun-ho, but go for more control. Whoever scores, if United score the first goal, I think we've got a chance of drawing the game or winning the game. But if Liverpool score first, we're fucked. Because if you watch the pre-season, really, what they did to us in the pre-season, they were really they were brilliant in the pre-season. Big up Hector. So pre-season, we were all over Liverpool. They just were clinical on the counter. Plus, 17 Amos was up against Salah. I actually think he plays Salah really well. But you don't want to read too many things into that pre-season. You know what I mean? Football has started now. You know. But people, please smash a like. There's nearly, 260 of you in here. Smash a like on the video. It helps the channel out. Like I said, I don't ask you for anything. I don't ask you to become a member. I ask you just to fucking smash a like on the video. Because we want to put the message out that we stand with the oppressed and stand against imperialism. Stand against colonization. That's what this is the channel for. It ain't just about football. Obviously, we talk about football. That's the main theme. But it's football with the edge. No other channel is talking about the way we talk. That's what's unique about this community. So, community, come on, like the fucking video. I ain't asking you too much. Like the video. It's simple. But yeah, Bumbaye. Match winners. Give me the match winners of Man United and match winners for Liverpool. Who do you think could be the match winners?
I mean, they have quite a few. Mohamed Salah is a great player on good form. Diogo Jota is always, top player, really good player. You've got Szoboszlai's. It's got a goal in him. He's been playing quite well. You've got all the frontline. Diaz is tricky, obviously. I think Diaz will be difficult tomorrow. Wan-Bissaka is not there anymore. Let's see if Mizraoui can handle him. He's non-stop, that guy. That will be a very interesting battle, but he's been doing really well. He's opened the season well. Pre-season, he was really good. Gakpo, Nunes, they can come on. They've got a point to prove. There's very strong competition for places in that Liverpool side. These are all not young players like we've got Garnacho, Ahmad, guys like that. These are all, either high profile or reasonable profile international players that expect to want to start in place. So everybody's got a point to prove, and tomorrow it will be difficult. They have a lot of match winners. Our match winners as well. Rashford. You know, it's so. I mean, Rashford to me is a player that I really like, and I've not really had major issue with the performances. My problem with Rashford was the application or the lack of it last season. I think that form hopefully will click back into gear, but he's running his ass off first two games. All right, not clicking yet going forward, but the team ain't clicking like we want it to. That will come. Xerxes, for me, can give them a lot of trouble tomorrow. A lot of problems. Bruno, another one. Ahmad, man, is a young boy who's got a goal in him. We've seen him in pre-season. We've seen him in the opening two games. He's you know, he does his thing. He's not phased. So it's there. But those are the potential match winners for this game.
Yeah, big up Rance in the chat as well. Rance, I'm not happy, man. I'm not happy about fucking Chelsea, bro. We're Chelsea's little bitches, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like selling us dud like fucking Mason Mount, and we're giving them Jadon Sancho. Get the F out of it for
Can I
24
ask you,
million,
bro?
and we're paying part of his wages. Are you taking the fucking piss? Like people don't get me triggered, man. Honestly, I'll go berserk. Seriously. But Manchester United, listen, Tom, I'll come to you. Actually, I'll go to Lesso. Lesso, in terms of the game, where do you think the match winners could be? I mean, they've got a lot of better match winners than us. But where do you see United can do something against Liverpool tomorrow? Do you think we can target Trent out wide with Rashford? Do you think we can target Robinson? Because sometimes they do go up when they go and press high. They are a bit vulnerable out wide at the back.
Definitely. We've seen that with the past two games. But I think Ahmad could do something. Obviously on the right as well. We need to exploit the wings. We need to actually stretch them. If we can stretch them, because they are vulnerable in those positions, we could actually cause some trouble there. But I'm not sure how the manager's actually gonna play, because now we have to see with the starting 11. To be honest, but Zexia, I think he can be he can be a pinnacle point, and he can make the difference up front. We need to start. We need. I think the Mason Mount injury, in a way, as much as we don't want to admit it, it's actually a blessing in disguise, because we would have seen Bruno and Mount in that midfield again. So I think Zexia will bring that kind of balance, that we initially needed and wanted. And then I think we'll play with Rashford as well. I think I do agree with Bumbaye. Rashford does tend to actually raise his game a little bit against Liverpool. Obviously because he's he's friends with Alexandra, but I think it's between those two. I don't think Bruno performs that well against big teams in big games. It really doesn't have that good record. So I think it's between those the front three to actually do something in that game. Liverpool have most of the position, basically. Man United will probably try and hit them on the break, more or less. I think that's what we're gonna go for, personally. So
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. Tom, in terms of like where we're gonna win it, obviously they got better match winners than us. I think Jota, if they get a chance, Diaz is on fire. Salah, for me, has rewound the clock. He looks like the Salah, the hunger, the level of hunger, even from the preseason. It looks like he's really hungry, like 3 years ago, man. Definitely, honestly, he's not the Salah of last year. Mainly because I spoke to a couple of Liverpool fans. They said this is probably one of the first seasons where he's had a full preseason. He always had the African Cup of Nations. He always had injuries, after the end of the season. So this is the first proper preseason he's had, and he's looking like he's on fire.
Yeah, he's when you look at Liverpool, I've always said this. They have those 6 players, and it doesn't matter who you play out of those 6. They all have the same sort of style in terms of playing and runs and width. They've almost got the same mindset of where each other are going to be on the football pitch because the styles are that similar. They've always had those 6. There was 3 in Firmino, Mane and Salah. When that started to age a little bit, they had to give money to one or the other. They gave it to Salah instead of Mane. Firmino obviously left, and then they replaced those players later on. But look, they've got match winners in that team, absolutely. But in the same part, I could make the same argument for us. I think you've seen what Xerxes can do when he gets the ball and can link up.
Tom, just 1 second. I just heard really terrible news, man. I really like this guy's character. Yeah, I'm heartbroken, man. I really liked him, he was a character, absolute character. So he's saying that we're saddened that the news is so Bamba has passed away. Our thoughts with his family and friends in the trash. I know that he's had cancer. I know that he had cancer and he survived cancer and he came back. Remember, he had he had cancer and then he came back. So he's 39 years old, man. That's so young, man. Oh my gosh, that's heartbreaking. But yeah, he played for the last team that he actually played for. They were in the Premier League last was Cardiff City. He was the captain. Yeah, boy, that's heartbreaking, man. Obviously, he's got family, but look, like that's the type of guy. Like he played with a smile on his face, man. So may he rest in peace in it, and lots of love, condolences to his family and friends, and if he's left any children behind, man. But yeah, may he rest in peace. I know that he battled cancer. I know that, and he came back. Yeah, look, this is what I'm saying to you. So I want you to just listen a little bit.
You took your shot off, and I wouldn't go with the Premier League can do better. You might have got away with one there. Yeah, I know. Don't tell anyone. I think at the end of the game, he said to me, you took your shot off, and I said, no, I didn't. So he didn't book me, so we just leave it at that. I'm talking. I know.
Yeah, look, he was that kind of guy. Like there's certain footballers that you just have, you don't know them as people, but the way they come across, you just have this kind of love for them. So yeah, really sad, really heartbreaking, and may he rest in eternal peace. Yeah, R.I.P. man, R.I.P. so Bamba, man. Yeah, I love Bamba. Definitely. Go ahead, Tom. You were talking.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Condolences towards him, and obviously condolences to his family if he has left any children behind or a wife or anybody. It's one of those sad situations, and look, there'll be probably a minute's silence and stuff and a bit of a memorial. But listen, that football club in Cardiff, right? They've gone through a lot when you think about it. That Salah transfer, with what happened with him on the plane coming over. The same thing now with Sol Bamba, he was a captain, I think.
He was a captain.
Cardiff as well, yeah. It's a saddening thing at the end of the day. Football, I do think some players probably would take it for granted. We're not going to name names on here, but they do take it for granted, really. The job and what they actually have and what they can do on a football pitch. But listen, we've always said this before. The saying is a footballer's career is always short, and it can be. But you've got to live the heights of it, and that's what I say. And look, I take, obviously news like that, and for say Manchester United, just look at the players. Like some players don't get to play in these sort of big games, guys. They don't when we do think about it. Yeah. But turning it probably back to Manchester United, like the match winners we have in our team, we do have match winners. We do have clear outball players. Yeah, listen, Xerxes, we saw what you could do on that first game with the movement. Even against Brighton, guys, when they give him the ball, we can see the link-up play that he brings us. And when you give him the ball, guys, we look dangerous when we're going to go forward. That's one of the things that I've seen in particular when he's played. And again, we've been doing this sort of smoke screening with Mount and Fernandes. Listen, it's not going to work. We said this for years about Pogba. When you put Fernandes and Pogba in the same team, it's going to be wow. It wasn't wow. It was shocking. And listen, Mount, apart from running around and pressing people, what does he really offer you? Not much. He doesn't offer you great ball skills, doesn't offer you great discipline. Listen, apparently at Chelsea, guys, he won so many free kicks. He barely wins them at Man United, mate. I've not seen him win any free kicks here. So even if you brought him in to win set pieces or set plays, mate, I ain't seeing it. So the only thing, like I said, that I can say
1 second, Tom. Condolences with your
Yeah,
with your mum's
Jamie.
family, man, Jamie. Sending love. Yeah. Listen, cancer's in the body. Cancer's in the body, but I think it's the environment, it's the pollution, it's the diet, it's modern life that is triggers it. Apparently, cancer is all in our body naturally, but it's about toxins or whatever we're eating or whatever we're breathing in that's triggering it. That's what I'm hearing. But go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And, look, at the end of the day, when I look at
and by the way, look,
winners with our team,
big up to Windy. Windy says Bamba had 4 children.
Bless.
Oh my gosh!
God
Listen,
bless.
big up Lilas. Lilas saying, you know what? One day we're all gonna die, but you don't expect your life to be shot caught, man. Like
No, not like
39.
that.
Not like that, man.
No, not like that. No, like he's finished his career. He's made probably a decent chunk of money. Spend it with family. Maybe listen. You don't know about the guy. He might want to go into coaching. Might have been starting his licenses. So he might have still had a career in football. We don't know, but no. At the end of the day, it's one of those shocking situations and stuff. And look, we can all pay our respects and everything. And I hope maybe the football community and the football world comes together and maybe we might do something from tomorrow at OT. But yeah, it is one of those saddening situations, guys. But yeah, football unites people, and for what it's worth, anyway, what I can say for us as a team, we need to unite. It's in the fucking club's name. It's what we're made and it's what we're about. So at the end of the day, let's unite and let's actually give Liverpool a game that probably we haven't given them for many, many years, and let's just fucking go for it. Let's go at them. And one of the points that Leicester made, and I'll make it my last point anyway. He said, "I'm not taking a draw in this game." We are in the third season of this supposed project with Erik ten Hag. I don't take draws anymore in big games, guys. I want to win and I expect to win. I don't care about players that they have or the manager that they have or the way that they play. I'm not arsed. We're 3 years in. He's got a group of players here that collectively he identifies as his kind of players. I expect results. Words can only get you so far, and words have got him 3 seasons at this club. Results is what's going to prolong him and keep him here longer. But results, and in this sort of game, guys, this is a sort of game where you can see, okay, maybe the Ten Hag era at Man United has actually started, and we actually see a bit of a style of play or a bit of a system, and we see what he's trying to do. But for me, I want a performance as much as I want a result in this game. I want the best of both worlds. And for me, when you're 3 years in with a manager, I think you should expect that by now, with what I've seen the blueprint for other managers. So, for me, match winners, if I had to name a couple of them for us, I would say Xerxes a definite one for what he brings to this squad and team. I think Ahmad on his day can be one. Garnacho, if you want to play coming off the bench, guys, I think he can make a difference. But maybe a little bit of an underpowering one that I think would maybe give us a bit more shining light. I think Cobby, listen, he's a Manchester lad. He knows what this fixture means. He scored a big goal in it last season, did he not, guys? And you saw what it meant to him. And players who are from Manchester should understand how big this game fucking is. So players like Rashford, mate, don't dive out of 50-50s or headers, mate. Fucking drive at people and run at people. You made your name at Manchester United in this fixture fucking 9 years ago, mate. So let's make it something again now.
Yeah, big up. Scholesy, what do you think about the game tomorrow? Come here. What do you think about the game tomorrow, lad? What do you think about the game tomorrow, eh? What are you thinking about the game tomorrow, lad? Eh? What do you think about the game tomorrow? You're going to win? United win? Is it United win, lad? Hey, we're going to win tomorrow. He's purring people. Scholesy he's a big lad now. He's not a baby anymore. He's a big old boy. We're going to win tomorrow. He's like, I don't care. I want more treats. Go and get your scran. Go and get your food. Big up people. Skulls is about people have been asking about Skulls. So yeah, there he is. Skulls. But yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting game tomorrow. Listen, I want to get another results, Bumbaye. Give me the result. What do you think the score is gonna be quickly? And then we'll move on to what the transfer has been about and that. The summer window. But talk to me, Bumbaye. What do you think the score is gonna be tomorrow?
think we'll win 2-1.
Wow. He's confident. He's confident, people. Big up Design, he says. How long do you think Eric Ten Hag has? Till Crimbo, mate, if things don't improve, mate. Big up, we're doomed, Grant. I fear the worst thing with Ten Higgins is in charge. Xerxes has all the qualities, but he'll struggle with his oversight. Can't put 3 passes together. Yep. It's always the same. We can't even sustain the possession up the pitch. You know what I mean? We can't sustain that. But some people want to tell me something different. You know what I mean? We're making basic mistakes. But you think 2-1, yeah? Let's so.
Give it
What are we doing
time.
now? Listen, it's fucking 3 years, man. What are you talking about? Time?
No,
3
that's
fucking
not
years,
how
mate. It's 3 fucking years come by.
No,
Stop chatting shit to me.
This
3 years, bro. It's year 3. Year
look,
3. And you're saying,
give it
time. It's 1986 or 1999.
You keep hearing 2 things, which I'm not bothered. I expected this from United fans anyway this season. You keep hearing 3 years, and you keep hearing 600 million. There's context behind everything. I told you on the last show that we did. It's up to you. If you want to just sever his head off straight away at the drop of every hat, you want to go berserk. That's fine. You can do that. But when reality comes into the fore, it is basically, this is the start of the season, and I'm going to give it time to mature and become what I think it can be.
Give it time, he says. How much time, lad? How much more time do you need? Big up to Lilas. Lilas, we're really, condolences to your dad's loss. We're really sorry about your dad's loss, man. Lots of love to you, bro. Loss, it affects us all, innit? Everybody, affects everybody, man. But you know what? Grief is a crazy thing, so make sure you take care with it. So you think 2-1. Let's so. What do you think the score's going to be tomorrow, pal?
I'd like to be positive, but it's very hard to be, in this case. So, I think it's gonna be a draw, man. I don't see us winning personally, but you never know. But I think we won't lose the game. I think they'll put up a fight, and we'll probably get a draw out of this.
Yeah, big up. Jamie Wayne. Scholes has got a girlfriend, man. Couple of doors down there. He's got a girlfriend. I'm not lying to you. I swear to you. I'm gonna have to get the photos. I'm gonna have to get the photographs so that I can literally show you guys that he's got a girlfriend. One of my neighbors who's not been, she's only lived in this building for a couple of years. Her cat, she's not been done yet, so she can't go out. But Scholesy, it's romancing, mate. I likes to go to the window, and she's on the other side of the window. And they start looking at each other, man. Scholesy is a gallus, people. He's a gallus. But yeah. Big up. We have to win tomorrow. Even a draw is not good enough. Wow. Tom, what do you think the score's going to be tomorrow?
Who are we playing tomorrow? Kidderminster Harriers.
No,
is that who we're playing? I don't get it. What is this? We have to. I don't get it.
We have to because we drop points.
What team are you looking at? What reality are you guys looking at?
With how they didn't see the game out last week, Bombay, they need a big upturn. They need a big result, and if they're going to get one, they have. This is the sort of game that probably puts that to bed.
Let Tom answer. Hold your thoughts, Bombay, and then I want to get quickly what they think the score's going to be. Then we'll come back to that. So hold your thought. Go ahead, Tom. What do you think the score's going to be tomorrow?
Me personally, I think it's going to be. I think there's going to be goals in it. Personally, I think we'll win 2-1.
Wow.
No, I do. I think we'll win 2-1. I think both teams are going to be wide open. As I've said, I am predicting a basketball match. I am, but I don't think Liverpool are going to be as sharp as they've shown in those first 2 games. And what I saw in Brentford, if Eric Ten Hag and his coaching staff are going to look at things properly, there is ways that you can get at that back team, and we have a lot more deadlier players than Brentford do in that side. I've always said Brentford, they have 2 deadly players in that team, and Burmo and Tony, and they didn't play one of those in that game in Tony. For me, Manchester United, we have 3 along the front line. Any of the 3, if they're playing on form, guys, can hurt this Liverpool team tomorrow. They can. So I want to see consistency from a front three, which are going to go direct and front footing at players. I don't want this hiding away or we'll just recycle the ball. No, risk something. Try it. It's the sort of game for it, guys, where I don't mind if tactics get thrown out the window, so long as you show me something individually. Show me something individually. Show me a bit of moment. Listen, if Garnacho wants to do an overhead kick, do it in this game. It means something more. Rashford, if you want to show that you've not lost it or you're not this money man anymore and you're actually a footballer and you're not a party boy, do something in this game. This is the game that made you 9 years ago, fella. Do something that we've not seen before from you this season or even for the last 12 months. I want to see something different. Listen, Anthony, if we play Anthony tomorrow, guys, put a cross in with your right foot. I've seen something different. That I want to see things different.
Tom, you're asking for too much, man. You're asking
I'm not
for too
asking
much.
for too much. Listen, God blessed him with 2
Anthony
feet on
hit
his
the ball
feet.
with his right
Use
foot. He
it.
scored one against Liverpool actually last season. That's the best I've ever
There
seen
you
him use
go.
his
There
right
you
foot.
go. Listen, so we're making progress. We're making progress. But no, I want to see consistency from the front line. Liverpool are not the Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. It's a different team, and the longer the season goes on, guys, they are going to drop off when they have a lot more games to contend with Champions League. So when it comes to it, this isn't the same Liverpool team from years ago, guys, that have that winning spark and winning mentality. They're the same players, but half of them are over the odds. Salah, as much as he's had a good pre-season, guys, age is not on his side. He's what, guys? What is he, 33? 34? Van Dijk's the exact
No.
same. Van Dijk is the exact same. So listen, as much as you want to say it, they've got a couple of good players. So do we. They've got a new manager. We've got a manager who's been in this league 3 years and who has bigger experiences than Arne Slot does. So for me, that's my reasonings behind why we should command a win. And for us as fans, we should expect to win based upon that this team completely abandoned the game plan for the last 2 minutes of that game against Brighton when they all lopsided to one side of the pitch. If you want to put that to the back of my memory as a fan, win a game that means something to this football club, which is a win against Liverpool. That's a big fucking game. You're going Bombay if you want to come back.
You want to get the super chat? Big up.
You're
Big up
going.
Design says, what do you think of Ugarte will change how we play? No, he's not going to change. He might change in terms of the way we win the ball back quickly. He's at his best. He might do that for us. But in terms of the way we play, nah, because we're not a possession team. We're not a possession football team. We're fucking terrible to sustain attacks. We don't keep the ball up the pitch. We don't dominate games, heavily dominate games like that. We don't make massive chances. We don't do that. So I don't know what he's going to do, but he's not a ball playing midfielder that you would have if you had a lot more footballers. We got some runners and we got a couple of headless chickens, man. But big up for the super chat. I appreciate you. So let's get into it quickly. Who thinks in the chat that this is a must-win tomorrow? Who thinks that? No, Ten Hag is not. Nobody's letting Ten Hag off the hook. Listen, my guy has got to prove a lot. All I see from the press conference, the second part, is a lot of waffle. Where I won this, I did this. Listen, the FA Cup is the only trophy that I recognize anyway. I don't fucking recognize League Cup, mate. As the United fan, I have never in my entire life as being a United fan, never celebrated a Europa League or a League Cup. Never in my life. So I will never start that. FA Cup, yeah, I celebrate FA Cup. Yeah, especially against those, the 1-1-1-5, mate. That's what I called them, innit? 1-1-5 with a blind dog. Those lot. I celebrated it. But that should not be the reason why he kept his job for me personally. But yeah, Bombay, you were going to say something. That you don't think this is a worthy win tomorrow. You don't expect Manchester United to improve. That we don't beat Liverpool tomorrow at Old Trafford. No? At home.
What I don't buy into is the narrative that this is a must-win and people are saying there is nothing else that we're accepting, as if we're going in to play a team that is beneath us. I think this is not only naive, this is unfair.
Listen, 1 second, Mumbai. Listen, big up TJ Superfly. Don't call people muppets, bro, because you sound like sheep. People don't need to back anything. The manager has to expect us, give me something and give everybody something to get behind and something to back. Nobody should be backing anybody who can give you no reason. Majority of football teams, majority of football players, majority of football managers or coaches have to show you something to back. They have to. That's how it works, bro. So don't be a sheep. Don't just be like, I'm gonna back what? Show me. I have to earn that backing.
Yeah, but man, after 2 games, everybody's going nuts.
No,
That's a
stop
sheep.
that because of the shit we played last season. It was terrible.
Yeah,
last
but
season.
yeah,
That's
but
the
listen,
reason why.
yeah,
This
but last
continues.
season's
Listen to me. When you finish the worst position in the history of this football club in the Premier League, pressure's on you, boy. You have to. There's got to be a certain level of standard. That's pressure. So if the next season you don't start well, the pressure builds, Bombay. That is the reality of football. You can't escape that. You
I don't want to
escape
escape that, but
You
but
can't.
there are,
No, you
but
you are. You're giving
but
my
there is.
listen. I'm telling you, Bombay. You're giving my guy the biggest escape holes ever. You're
No.
like you go to Alcatraz. You try to break him out. Stop it,
No,
man.
I'm not trying to break him out. But what I'm saying to you
You're
is the same
breaking him
thing I
out,
said
man. Bombay ain't
to
one man job
last.
to rescue tonight.
No, bro. Being objective is not about wanting to be right and saying this is the wrong guy and bringing last season's baggage in. For me, that's the operative word here, the operative 2 syllables for me. There are a group of Manchester United fans like me, and there are a large group of Manchester United fans like a lot of the guys in the comments, like yourself, that are looking at this a different way. People like me want Eric Ten Hag this season to find out. You might be right, but certainly I will not start behaving in
Bombay,
this
what are
way
we finding
after
out?
2
What are
games.
we finding out, Bombay? What are we
Whether
finding out? This is year 3.
yeah,
What are we
let me
finding out, bro? Talk to me. Show me something to get behind, and I'll come on here and I'll say, boys, there is something to get behind. Other than that, last week, we're fucking conceding goals that you would never see in a Sunday League job. Even when we played together, Bombay, if we conceded goals like that, we would be fighting each other, bro. And you know that in our 5-a-side team, what it used to be. If we made 1 or 2 mistakes, everybody will be in each other's faces.
Look, I expected, and I expect often when I come onto this podcast, that this is going to be the type of noise. I expected that before even a ball was kicked.
But why do you think? Why do you think the noise?
Because
why do you think people are making noise for reasons, or do you think there's reasons? They're actually factual reasons why there's noise.
I wouldn't say they're factual reasons. I'll say that perception is interesting here. You're looking at things a little bit different from me. I'm here to find out if this manager is the real deal or if he's not. But I think I'm going to give him time this
After
season
year 3,
to show me.
So in the beginning of year 3, you're still finding out.
Yeah, because but last season you had 2 types of people, right? You had the guys that said now we're done, and then you had guys like
everybody and that knows if you finish the worst position in the Premier League, you shouldn't be getting a job because you won a trophy. It shouldn't be. The league is the bottom, mate.
But listen, there's some nuance to last season. Obviously, you could say to me, Boumbaye, you can just keep saying we finished 8th. All right, fine. That's your thing. Fine. Hang on.
That's a fact. You know that's a fact. Manchester United finished 8th. And by the way, Bombay, this is the words out of his own mouth. He said Manchester United. This is from his own mouth. He said it about a month ago, 6 weeks ago. He said it. He said we weren't the most. We didn't have the worst injuries in the Premier League. He said it out of his own mouth. So we were somewhere like 5th or 4th in terms of being the injury hit run. There were teams like Brighton, Newcastle, Brentford that were far more injury hit runs in the Premier League last season than Manchester United. So save me all this kind of argument. 8 is no excuse. I don't care who's on the fucking football pitch. 8 is no excuse. It is the worst of Manchester United's history in the Premier League for almost 20-something years. No, 30 years. 30 years. Premier League started in 92, if I'm not mistaken. Was it 91 or 92?
Yeah.
92.
Yeah.
So you're not telling me something that I don't know, by the way. I know everything that you just said.
But you said to me,
But what I'm
you're
giving
saying to me,
you,
there's a reason. I'm telling you, you said to me, there's no facts. So the facts that
no,
finished
wait.
8, right?
You
8.
see, do you know the issue when we're talking here is you say things. You said I didn't say anything. Let me land. That's your position on it, and a large part of the fan base. You're entitled to that position. I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. My position is different. I'm looking for this season to unfold in front of my eyes. I will know if I'm going places, or I will know if this guy's a dud. Way too early for me yet. And that's because I still can't pick you a starting 11. I'm not sure how we're going to set up and how we're going to play. I'm very excited. I think we've had a great transfer window. I like what we've brought in. Last season, I looked at it, I couldn't honestly assess Eric Ten Hag due to the amount of injuries and the fact that the season simply derailed. That, to many people, is, you can say it's an excuse, but I'm just being honest to myself because I'm the same guy that told you you have to give Van Gaal another season. I'm the same guy that told you please sell Pogba and Martial and keep Marino. But I'm the same guy. So I have within me, I need to be fair. And I felt, do you know what? I can't honestly assess this season because there is no bench. There is no team. Everything's dead. Everything's wrong. We need some new players and we need to get some other players out. I thought, let's see how this summer is. I'm very happy with the summer. Now I can assess Eric Ten Hag properly and I can start, a few months down the line. If it's horrendous, I can come on and say, no, this is absolutely not good enough. We need to start thinking about somebody else. But maybe, like I said, a few months down the line, all this madness might calm down if you start to see something to hold on to and believe in. That's what I'm here to find out. So I don't go into tomorrow's game, bro, on that basis saying we have to. Well, I don't have to do anything. I feel confident about it. I judge Eric Ten Hag now because I think we have a team that has got some competition for places. We have a good bench. We have a good bench. We have players relatively fit. If Mount's out, injuries will happen. Luke Shaw's out. That's not an excuse. We've got a good squad now. Good squad of players.
There's no
Got lots.
excuse anyway. There's no excuse.
Yeah,
But let me
bro.
just
Look,
finish this guy.
yeah, there
No
is.
more
There is none.
excuse other than a left back and another midfielder for me. And then maybe they might get them in January. But to me, there's no
Even missing those, Nuruddin, what we have now is in line with top 4. So I
Okay.
want to see some
I
development of
just wanna get
football,
this.
and obviously you need some results too.
Let's get this. Big up to Alayu. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. It's a big up therapy and me. Get the lights up. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate it. Besides, big up Rants. Bring on the Rude era. Everybody's asking for the Rude fan this story, mate. I said it from day dot, people. He's a backstop guy to take over Eric Ten Hag if they pull the trigger. Trust me, I told everybody. Remember that. Kiljero says, this is a must-win, Nuruddin. We can't drop points. Our rivals pick up points. Wow. Yeah. Well, Arsenal didn't pick up any. They didn't pick up that many points today, so it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see. But yeah, big up to everybody. Lesso, what do you think? Is it a must-win game tomorrow?
Definitely.
Obviously,
Definitely
for
definitely.
you. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely, we need to be winning the game. I've said this. We can't be here in his third season, and this guy, we were still saying that we should be drawing against Liverpool. I've said, based on the manager and the managers themselves, if they still had Klopp, then maybe I may have a different opinion now. Maybe probably lean towards a draw, and I'd still say, okay, maybe that's somewhat of a good enough result. But this man is in his first season. He has never coached in the Premier League. I'm not gonna lower my standards. I'm sorry. This man is in his third season. We have to be direct now. We can't hide anymore and say and give excuses. He needs to get 3 points. We lost against Brighton because of his poor substitutions and his poor starting 11 and his poor management of the game. Something we saw, funny enough, in the first 2 seasons. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He needs to improve first. Otherwise, he's losing this job.
Okay.
He's losing his period.
Listen, big up Danny. This is the majority of the fan base feel. He says, when I watch my beloved United play, I feel more sadness than joy. That's a fact. That is a fact. Everybody can say that. But listen, people, let's get into it quickly. And I'll stay with you, Lesto. Tell me about your rate. How do you rate this transfer window in terms of the ins and the outs? How do you rate it?
I'd say before the Sancho departure, I would have rated it 6 or 7, actually. But now it's actually all the way to 4, to 4 out of 10, because now you're strengthening a rival with a player, and on top of that, you're not replacing him. I've always had a problem with this whole thing that we are not replacing players. I've had this problem all the way since the times of Sir Alex Ferguson. You know, you can't be letting players go and then you don't replace them. So for me, it's a 4, just based on the whole Sancho debacle. You're strengthening a rival, literally someone that's gonna be that's competing for a top 4 position just as much as you are. You know, so just because we didn't replace him, I think it's a 4 for me. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Tom, in terms of the window, what do you think?
I like the way that we've negotiated deals, even if it means that we drag players out. If it means that we get a better deal in the end, I'm not so bothered. We always knew PSG were going to.
So let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it. Let's count it. Man United have like Lenny Euro for 42 million, plus 10 million. That's if he meets all these, you know, he wins all the trophies or whatever. Ugarte 42 million plus 4 million with all the things he achieves. Matthijs de Ligt 38 million and 4 million if he starts all these games or whatever. Sersky 36. Sersky is 4. How much is Sersky?
36.5.
Yeah,
this report says.
Yeah.
Mazraoui 12. 12 plus 3 more million. We spent 170 million. Now I don't know the outs, but apparently we've sold.
It's around about 100. It's over 100 million in outs. Do you know? 111 million when you count them up. That's how. So you've had a net spend. You've had a net spend of like 70 million, pretty much.
So Manchester United, since Fergie, have not sold that well. So that's a plus. That's a big.
That's what I would have taken from this. They've negotiated a little bit better when it comes to selling players. But when you think about it, Dino, right? What do we really expect Ineos to do? And I'll give them a little bit of leniency, right? They are trying to sell dud players and bad apples. It's very hard to try and get £30 million for bad apples or
but
players.
Tom, I don't buy that excuse because I'm sorry. Chelsea sell players, and Chelsea have been in shambles since Ibrahimovic has left. They sell players who never kick the ball for their first team for 20 million, 30 million.
I understand that, Dino, right? But look at it, right? The way that I look at it from this, right? When players...
Come on, bro.
Right. Hang on. Are you going to buy a young player from Manchester United for £30 million who have arguably, guys, we say, have been a failure for 10 years? Or are you going to buy a £30 million player from City's academy who City have a pathway to good top players? Chelsea's a similar thing, Dino. They've won Champions Leagues. They've done bigger things than Manchester United have done in the last 10 years, I would argue. Because they've won 2 Champions Leagues. They've consistently won league titles, arguably, even in the last decade.
Not in the last 5 years, Tom. Not in the last 5 years.
What I'm saying, though, is would you rather buy
United have won more trophies in the last 5 years than them, actually, if you looked at it. What have Chelsea won in the last 5 years?
These clubs, Dino, they've had that rhetoric around them that they negotiate better deals when they either sell players or they buy players. Man United, we've always said this, and me and you've agreed on this, we are run off of a spreadsheet. We bid 3 times for a player, and then in the end, we end up paying what the club realistically wanted. In terms of buying players, Dino, we've done a little bit better. The Xerxes thing, they ended up paying a little bit more, but it meant that they could still move in the market. Would we have done that under the Glazer family? Probably not, because we wouldn't have had the people that think like that or have the knowledge to do that. The same thing with what we've done with Lenny Euro. Okay, it looks like you've paid a lot of money for a teenager. Okay, fair enough. But at the end of the day, you're not paying £60 million straight away. you might be paying 40, which for average, Dino, of a centre-back nowadays, to get a good one for £40 million is very hard to do. And this kid's supposedly going to be the next big thing. That's good. The same thing with the sales, though. I understand what you're saying, where why can't we sell players for £30 million? The difference is now, when clubs come to negotiate for these players for United, they're going to understand that, okay, we're going to have to deal a little bit differently. We're going to have to be smarter, because Ineos aren't just going to accept £5 million for kids anymore. They're going to demand 15 million, 20 million for kids. And if it means that they don't end up selling them, okay, they don't end up selling them. But at the end of the day, we have to look at the basics of, realistically, we never used to sell any players for profit. So our spends for windows used to be like negative 100 or 300 or like 200 million pounds. Now you're having a net spend of, say, 70 million, which is a lot better. And I understand, and the point that you made earlier, I agree with you on. You can't expect Ineos to sell all of these deadwood players in one window. No. But one thing that I would say, even during the on-season now, you can still try and find clubs for these players later down the line. Chelsea buy players when the transfer window's not even open. They do deals for players. They did it with Nkunku. So you can sell players, you can market players out of the door at the same point. But in the same case of it, the Sancho thing, yeah, you're not getting 40 million for the guy, but you're also not paying 300 K a week, which over a full season, that's like 15 million. That's basically what we would argue as a player sale. So it's one of those things where we can make these things seem a lot worse than they are. And listen, I'm not getting on Ineos's arse and saying that they've done an amazing job, because there's some things that I think they could have handled a little bit better. But under the circumstances of it, that a lot of these players aren't players that they've bought. They've negotiated some sales well. And the same thing, guys, McTominay is a youth player. I think they've probably got the most out of that deal. We didn't expect somebody to pay 25, 30 million pounds for McTominay when, 12 months before, you had West Ham who were only going to pay 15 million for him. They've marketed a little bit more money out of him. So, in the same judgment, we've negotiated better for the players that we've bought. And the same thing, and the last point I'm going to make, right? 12 months ago, we would have spent 70 million pounds on Jared Branthwaite. Can we all agree upon that? Instead of doing that, they went to Bayern Munich and they said, we'll get Bayern's best defender, which was De Ligt, and we'll get one of their right wing backs who still has a little bit left to give in the game, and he's got experience in Mazraoui. They bought the pair of them for a combined, I think it was 75 million pounds. So they got two quality players with far more experience than what Branthwaite has, for what they would have paid for one player who's not even had Champions League experience. So, in terms of credibility, they've done things a little bit better. But again, is it going to be consistent, or is this just, okay, we're in the door, where's a group now, we need to impress? I want to see this consistently window after window, guys. That's what I want. And if it means it, guys, let's dump some players off in the winter. Let's dump them in January. Maguire, if you get decent money, get him out the door. Lindelof's the same. If you get an offer before his contract runs out, take a cheap offer and get him out the door. That's what I want, guys. I want to move smartly. And we've got a lot more smarter people now.
Listen, last hope. So, Bumbaye, quickly go to you. What do you think of the window?
Top quality, bro.
So then that means then the pressure's on Erik ten Hag.
Yeah, the pressure's always on. The
but
pressure,
you know that he's actually been back.
He's always getting backed. He's been backed. But I think what's happened now, what Ineos has showed me, is a few things. First of all, what people need to consider is there's a lot of bad deals that have been done that they've inherited that they have to process. Jadon Sancho, everybody knows, is a player that we don't want. Is a player that has no future here. The whole point of Jadon Sancho is, how do we get rid of this player, because he is a financial burden? Who is prepared to take him? And we can't really negotiate, because this is a player that doesn't want to be there and we don't want him. Makes it very difficult. So just to get him out of the club, and we've managed to obligate them to actually purchase him outright is a major, major victory. Major victory. Even if you are a little bit short, just the opportunity to get rid of such a financial burden, and given his status at the club and the disconnect between him and his manager and the club itself, is an amazing piece of business. It's probably the best piece of business we did in this whole summer.
Wow.
As far as strengthening
Wow.
and as
It's
far as
wild. It's a
strengthening
wild take, but go ahead. That's
opposition,
your opinion.
as far as strengthening an opposition, why don't we just wait and see what he does for Chelsea, guys? Let's see what Chelsea themselves do. So it's a little bit premature. If you look at what we've actually gotten rid of, they're either players that have no future here, they're players that fans don't really like, or the players that are injury prone. We've gotten rid of what Scott McTominay, Mason Greenwood didn't have a way back, and we've actually got a 50% sell-on clause of anything that he goes to. If he goes to PSG or whatever, we get half of the transfer fee. That's in the clause. You've gotten rid of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, that a lot of people felt doesn't really have a future here. And that, okay, these guys, you've got to give Ineos credit. They're taking hits on finances. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is more than a £15 million player. He's 24 years old. He's one of the best one-on-one defenders in the country. So for me, when you look at actually what we've done, we've really consolidated the squad. And look what we've bought, man. You've bought defensive players, you've bought an attacker, and you've brought a midfielder. And just one transfer window for all that to happen, for me, is well impressive. And I think Eric as well, you're saying about he doesn't want Ugarte, didn't want McTominay to go. When you listen to Brendan Rodgers and Klopp didn't want Salah. Brendan Rodgers did an interview. He didn't want certain players, but he's got that thing that you've been banging on about for years, a structure. Now we have a structure where people are going to have an input and say, Eric, no, this is the player. This is the guy that we're scouting, and this is what you need. And every manager has to have that. He hasn't had that. Previous managers haven't had that. We're the only club in England that had no structure. But now you've got proper people in there. And even the way that we're rolling in the transfer market, the way that we've done business, do you know what I mean? Euro just turned up. Everything that we thought we were going to get that was on the horizon has gotten over the line. And you're not going to get it all straight away, bro. But this is an excellent start, a great start.
Big up Rants, man, to the therapy army. Big up Rants.
What's happening, my bro?
King. I appreciate you coming on. Listen, talk to me about the window. Are you happy with the window?
It's just a mixed window. It's a mixed window. Yeah, before the Sancho thing, I'd probably say the window was about 6, 7, and now it's about 4 for me. Do you know what I mean? I don't agree with the take that we had to get rid of him and all this other stuff. Also, the Wan-Bissaka stuff. I don't believe we've taken the hits. I don't think we've taken a hit on any players really. Wan-Bissaka's book value was 6 million. He was in the final year of his contract. So to get 15 million for him, we did well, bro. Let's be honest. Yeah, since we got Wan-Bissaka, I think at the time when we signed Wan-Bissaka, he was one of the most exciting young fullbacks in the Premier League. I don't think he's done enough at Man United to even enhance his value. Like Wan-Bissaka is not like, yeah, he's not great, bruv. Like, I'll be honest. I watched him today as well for West Ham. It's a nothing player. Like everyone's saying that, oh, he's a great 1v1 defender, but bro, there's more to football than 1v1 defending. Do you know what I mean? He gets caught sleeping at the back post. His positioning is not very good. He's a reactive.
That's always been leveled against him.
Yeah,
football is a team game.
He's a reactive footballer. Do you know what I'm saying? He's good in isolated incidents, but his reading of danger and all these other things, he's always making up for bad positioning, and you can't do that forever. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not a massive fan of him. And also on the ball, if we do want to play out from the back, he's a pressing trigger, so we had to go. So I'm happy that Wan-Bissaka left. I'm happy with Mazraoui coming in, but my main issue with this window is the kind of players we've brought in. It's kind of showed me that we're not really trying to play decent football, in it. We still didn't get that midfielder that can put their foot on the ball. We needed that first phase midfielder. We've basically replaced. We brought in Ugarte to replace an older Casemiro with a younger Casemiro, but with less on the ball ability. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, he doesn't solve our midfield problem. These guys are trying to turn Kobe Mino into a midfielder that controls the
not that
midfield.
guy.
He's not that kind of player. He's a creative player that wants to get forward, dribble, take players on, and try and make things happen.
A
bro.
number
He's,
10, really. He should be the
yeah,
number 10.
he is
really.
a number 10. He's better.
Yeah.
He's
Of the
better in
pitch.
the opposing box than he is near our box. Near our box, he's learning the game still, and he's got mistakes in him. Do you
And
know
he's
what I
been
mean?
asked to run. No, I actually think he's been asked to run a lot.
And that's not his game.
That's not his game. But definitely, I agree with you. I personally think the signings, Ineos, have tripled down on the way Ten Hag wants to play. So that man cannot moan. They've not even, you know what I mean? They're not done at second. They've tripled. They've tripled down on the way he wants to play. So for me, there is zero excuses. To me,
Did you put any stock in the fact that Ugarte? You said that Ugarte is not a player that he wanted.
No. Apparently,
he didn't want him. It was a club signing.
Yeah. But he apparently he said that if you're getting rid of Casemiro, get me. I'll accept Ugarte, but only if you get rid of Casemiro. But he doesn't understand that. Listen, you can have 2 in certain games. For me, Ugarte is more of a pressing guy who wins the ball back and is there to limit. I personally believe Ineos have looked at him and thought, okay, we need a guy who can actually limit the basketballification of the football that we're playing. But it's going to be see how good he is and how much confidence he's going to get, because every signing is a risk, people. But for me, in terms of the game model or the tactics and the way Erik ten Hag wants to play, he's still in control how we play. And they've gone, okay, we'll give you that. Well, Xerxes the new Martial, basically. He can hold the ball, but I think that he's more than Martial in that sense, because he actually prefers footballers around him, like we saw for Bologna last season, where they've got a very progressive, what's the guy called? The Juventus manager,
Motta, yeah.
That he was a manager. Yeah, he was the manager of Bologna. And actually, he needs players to be close to him to protect. But this tactic we're playing now, Rashford and Ahmad are holding width really high. So it's very interesting, but to me, there's no excuses now anymore. And I expect Manchester United. I think that we've moved. I think the first time we've broken the 100 million barrier in terms of amount of players we got rid of since Fergie. So that to be commended. That's a fact that I can't argue with. And I'm not all in with Ineos. I'm not all in with Ineos thing with Jim Durant. I'm not in with it. So that I can commend, because I can't argue with the fact. That is the fact. But I said a left back is vital, because I always say Luke Shaw is a dead footballer. I don't know what anybody tells me. Anybody and their nan, he's a dead footballer. And Malacia, we don't know if he's going to come back from that terrible injury that's kept him out for nearly 13 months. So I don't know how is that going to come back. So I said a left back. I said this window without a left back is tricky, because now we are, whether we like it or not, we're a Delort injury or Masraoui injury away from Lindelof playing either left back or right back. And what the fuck are we talking about?
If he's not
where are
injured,
we?
Yeah, but
I hope
you know what?
Touch wood, they don't get injured, but left back is important. And I also wanted a second midfield player who can actually, now in a game when we want to, you know what I mean, in terms of games, so that we don't concede mad goals later the games, where Erik ten Hag conceded 6 goals in his time at Manchester United. And in 30 years, all the time under Fergie, we only conceded it twice. So it shows to me a ball-playing midfield that can keep the ball away from the opposition. We don't have that, because he doesn't want to play like that. For me, the Sancho thing, I'm not a sheep in it. I've never been a sheep. I don't accept what the papers tell me, the agendas that media and certain football journalists has. Him and Ten Hag fell out. That's not the beat on end of it. Footballers have fell out loads. Fergie fell out with loads of players. They move past it and he gets to play. But I genuinely think Erik ten Hag did not want to play football that suits wide ball players who stand their foot on the ball, who are technically gifted, like Sancho. He wants runners. And I've explained this to people before. He wants runners, people who can run. Because that's where he wants to play hoofball. And the reason why, for me, if Ineos genuinely came in and assessed it, Bruno and Rashford would have been gone. But no, they're like, no, we're keeping your 2 boys that you love. We're getting rid of everybody else. And we're only having 1 technical footballer on the pitch. Actually, 2. If Xerxes and Ahmad play, they're the only tactical and technically gifted players we've got off the pitch. forget about Anthony coming on. Garnacho is another runner. He's effective runner more than Rashford, but he's another runner.
Mm.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
But even Ahmad, bro, I think his days are numbered in the starting lineup, man, as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you could tell he doesn't really fancy him, bro. Like, he doesn't really fancy him.
He's
Like,
been
when you watch
bullied
the
into
games,
it.
yeah, and he subs him off every game, bro. Like, and if he didn't score last game, he would have been subbed off. Like, do you know what I mean? The couple games before that, he got subbed off for Garnacho. It's almost like he's like, all right, cool, I'll give him an hour.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
You can't have that. You need full confidence if you start for you to see out some games, because Rashford is seeing out games. Ahmad is more effective than Rashford. You know what I mean? But people, smash a like. Let's get to 250 likes. Bumba, I'll let you come back in. For me, biggest, I don't believe the media. I read between the lines. Eric Ten Hag, do you accept the fact that Eric Ten Hag has a way of playing that is not conducive to holding the ball and possession up the pitch? Because the types of players that we've signed, the only player that can do that is Xerxes. And you can't just have one. Do you know what I mean? Do you accept that?
No. What on the base? No, I don't accept that. And what I was about to ask is, I don't know. Maybe you guys have got a handle on exactly what Eric Ten Hag's vision is in terms of the way that we want to play in the type of club that we want to be. I have no handle on that, and I told you that at our last podcast.
Well,
I'm an
observer.
I'm an
observer. The football like he played last season with a bit more control, not conceding the goals and shots.
Bro, I'm here as an observer to see if he's going to make, if he's going to do what I think he can do. But in terms of even a starting 11, especially in midfield, I can't pick you a team right now. Because I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know a lot about the players that we've, but I don't know anything about Ugarte. I watched a YouTube video. Ask me, done. Let me be honest with you. The Licks, I don't know too much about them. Mazraoui, I know nothing about. I've not seen them. Xerxes has certainly caught my eye. We've got players that are in the team now that were injured for a lot of last season. Martinez is back. Unfortunately, Mount is out again. But I'm here to find out.
Never here anyway, that's why it's the biggest pick stake. What Chelsea have done
what
to
I'm
us.
saying, what I'm saying to you is, if you guys have got a handle exactly on how he wants to play, then maybe you can have and quantify a little bit more the signings. I said if you said to me he wants Sterling, all right, get Sterling.
You want to play out from the back? No,
get Sterling.
I'm glad we lost.
No. I'm saying what I'm trying to say is I'm not telling you I'd have him. I want this manager to get all the toys that he needs and have the toys he's got fit to see what we can actually do. I can quantify my analysis of him. Last season, I struggled. The bench was dead. The team was dead. The season was dead. But we had so many injuries that I thought, you know what? No.
But we were fit we had a bigger squad than Brentford, bigger squad than Brighton, bigger squad than Newcastle, bigger squad, and all of them had worse injuries than us. So what's their fucking excuse? You know what I mean? Manchester United football manager for 30 years to be the worst position you finish. That to me says a lot more for me. That is disturbing, and hence why he's under pressure now. But let me tell you something. Eric Ten Hag wants Manchester United to be, and he said it out of his own mouth. He said, "I don't want to play Ajax football because that's not Manchester United football." Okay. He said he wants Manchester United to be the most transitional team in the best in the world at it, and playing in the counter. So high press, winning the ball back, and then attacking teams. But for that, Eric Ten Hag wants to do it for 90 minutes. Right. He never wants to go to mid-block after he's winning the game or whatever. He wants to still do it. And that's why, if you looked at the positioning, I don't know if you've seen it, Ransom.
So Ugarte maybe makes some sense.
So the positioning of Kobe, I don't know if you saw it after the Brighton game, but the positioning of Casemiro and Kobe were way up the pitch. They are way up the pitch, even towards the end of the game. And that is scary because you were always opening us up for the last 20 minutes to basketball creation of football. And that, I'm afraid, you're not going to win. And that's why we're going to concede more goals.
Yeah, Dino, listen, he's in year 3. He's had 3 years now. I'm sorry, even at the level of football that he's managed to get to at Manchester United, you should know how to see games out, or you should have the basic fundamentals to understand, okay, if we can't win the game, listen, going away to Brighton's not easy for even title challenging teams, guys. It's not, because Brighton are a good side on their day and they can cause you problems. Going to Brighton and taking a point, I can accept. fair enough. If the game's not there to be won, don't lose it. Title-winning teams say that saying all the time. If the game's not there to be won, let's just take a point from it and we'll move on to next week. It's better to have taken something. What can we really take from the game, guys? We didn't take any points. Was there that many positives about the game? Probably not. I think it probably got overshadowed with what we saw in the last minute when the whole defence just lopsided to one side of the pitch, and you had two Brighton players who either of them could have just tapped it in and
Basic, man. Basic.
It's basic level of football, guys, and that's what I'm saying. So for me, if we get to this Liverpool game, and this is why there's so much emphasis on this game, if you want to forget that or want us to forget that, go and put a brilliant defensive performance out against Liverpool then. Go and put a whole team performance out there. Show us something that's different for this season, Eric Ten Hag. But the fact of that he says he wants to play transitional football, I've never heard a manager come out and say that is their way that they want to play.
That's what he
I've
said.
always said transitions and counter-attacking is a tactic. It is not a style of play. I've heard the same thing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We're very good at counter-attacking football. It's not a style of play. It's freestyle.
Because every team can do it. Every team
can do this to you. Listen, Liverpool tomorrow. Listen, when we spoke about Liverpool before, guys, everybody talks about this heavy metal, Gengen pressing style of play. Liverpool are the best counter-attacking team under Jurgen Klopp. Facts.
They score a lot of goals from corners,
guys. From the corners, when they're defending a corner from their own box, they score a goal within like 8 seconds, guys, from their own box. That's a proper transitional team. If you want to use that phrase, the fact of that he's got, and this is why Ten Hag doesn't really have a leg to stand on now. He's got the players that he wanted. He's got the squad that he's desired, supposedly. He's got players that he can bring off of the bench that can supposedly make a difference now. What else do you need, Ten Hag? You've got the structure above you. You've got the coaching staff you wanted. You've got everything you wanted. So
listen, Tom,
when you don't start bringing results, what are you going to hang on to? Nothing.
Exactly. You're going to be under pressure. Big up these Super Like it. No, for fuck's sake, injuries are and pure fucking off the field shit to deal with. Listen, it's not like my guy's getting like £14 an hour. My guy's on millions. That's why you're in the hot seat being a manager of Manchester United. That's why you've got to, Manchester United is a humongous football club. There's going to be off the field shit every season. There's going to be things on the pitch. There's going to be injuries. You are there to manage. You're not getting paid peanuts. My guy is on, I don't know, loads of money, mate. I think he's on, after Pep, I think he's on the most money. So, in the Premier League. So what we're talking about here, bro? Like,
I think look, man,
nobody's holding a gun. Nobody's holding a gun to his head, bro.
Listen,
we're gonna a gun to the head, mate. I'm sorry. If you can't stand the heat, what do? You step
out of the kitchen. Yeah, sure. Exactly. Look, I think everybody knows football.
Let me get left Owen. Let me see, and then we'll go back to
let's see as the season develops, man, where you are. But I would like to hear a little bit more about, quantify the Sancho thing. The perspective of the boys that are saying that was a terrible thing, and why is
it's a terrible thing, but I understand he doesn't fit into the style of Eric Ten Hag. Like, that's why, for me, the biggest thing why it's terrible, because he makes us look like we're Chelsea's little bitches. Because they sold us a broken dud like fucking Mount. And I still, to this day, I don't know why Eric Ten Hag said yes to that signing. Because he doesn't even have a fucking position for him. Because we've got a 72 million, 20-year-old striker, right, who's injured, who's going to come in back. Then we buy Thursky. So where the fuck is Mason Mount? He's going to play Bruno and Mount all season. Are you fucking taking the piss? Like, that don't make sense. Jaden, so the rumors were that he's a Chelsea fan. There you go.
No, but it's not a rumor. Like, we knew he was. Like, it's not a secret, bro. Like, they asked him when he was at Dortmund and he, I think, all at Man City, and he said that he was a Chelsea fan growing up. That's not a secret. The problem with the Sancho thing is multiple things. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't like the way the managers handled it. I don't like the way the manager gaslights the fans. I don't like the way the manager gaslights players. Like, I had a lot of respect for Maresca literally coming out with the Raheem Sterling thing and saying, listen, nothing against Raheem Sterling. He's a good footballer. He's not the kind of winger that I like, and he won't be getting minutes here. I got 100% respect for that. What I don't have respect for, is the manager coming out and saying that, oh, Jadon Sancho needs to work hard to get in this team and this, that, and the other, and he's playing a bunch of players that are nowhere near his level. And then on top of that, the manager came out talking about effort in training, but then you got the nonsense that's gone on with Rashford, missing games and that, getting back into the team, straight into the team.
Belfast
You know what I'm
Gate.
saying? After pissing off, going out on the piss, missing training and all these things, and then he's in the squad on the weekend. Oh, but he apologized. Load of nonsense. Do you know what I'm saying? We've seen Anthony with blatant dissent, yeah, for the manager on TV, like losing his mind when he got asked to play in a position he didn't want to play in. Anthony's still in the squad, still playing games. Do you know what I'm saying? McTominay was on his way out the club. He still used McTominay off the bench in a game when he knew that McTominay was gone. Literally 2 days later, the guy played Sancho all preseason. Sancho never put in a bad performance. First 2 games of the season, not in the squad. And then lying, saying he had an ear infection. This guy's a demon, bro. And then on top of that, like the club have backed him by getting rid of Jadon Sancho. So we've given one of our most talented players to a team that we're supposed to be competing with 4 top 4. So it shows a lack of ambition from this football club. Why can Tottenham turn around and tell Chelsea, you're not having Harry Kane, you're not having Luka Modric, we'll rather sell them abroad for cheaper, but Man United are just going around giving Chelsea Jadon Sancho, bro? Like, it shows a complete lack of ambition, bro. Or like, how are Tottenham doing that? But we can't turn around and say, yo, you know what, we'll sell him to anyone or we'll loan him to anyone but Chelsea. Why couldn't we do that?
But this is the point. For me, I'm not going to lie to you. Listen, at the end of the day, I would wish the player well. So I would, but
me too.
I would agree with everything you said. But what takes even the piss for me is that they sold us Mason Mount a dud, where we know the position he is. You're not selling Bruno. Bruno never misses a game, never gets fucking injured, right? He doesn't like being subbed. He starts smirking, even though he's the fucking club captain. He starts smirking at the camera when the goal goes in, right, against us, right? So you know that guy was never the guy that's going to replace him. But you sell him for 60 fucking million and you give him the most iconic shirt at the football club. That is the biggest piss take for me. That I know already he don't like Sancho, and I said it. And you know what? Even before the stuff happened, the way he come out and threw him under the bus against Arsenal, for me the biggest thing was that in that preseason, not this season, last season's preseason, he was like, Jadon is like the false nine, and meaning like we're gonna sign a striker. So that tells you, you read between the fucking lines and you go, well, he's playing you there. He's not playing you out wide. He's playing you there, and he's waiting to sign a striker. So where the fuck are you gonna play?
And he came in and he signed Anthony even before you'd seen Jadon Sancho play. So you already decided that he was replacing him. Do you know what I mean?
Go ahead, Lesso. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to respond to Lilies United in the chat. I mean, you know, he's saying that how is Sancho talented when Guardiola said you are crap and we'll see you later. Sancho decided to leave. By the way, City didn't want him to leave anyways. He chose to leave. So I don't understand that notion right there. And I also wanted to talk about Ten Hag, you know, this thing where he came out and, you know, he painted a certain narrative of himself saying that all players are equal, no one is above nobody, you know, that was never going to work from the first goal. You know, you obviously have to treat different caliber of players in a different manner. You cannot treat, it's in an ideal world, obviously you'd want to, you know, treat everyone equal, but that's just not possible logically. You know, even in a workplace, if someone is bringing more to the table, they're actually going to get more, better treatment, or rather extra treatment. You know what I'm saying? But in our case, you know, it's so obvious, and it was disgusting to see, you know, how he treated Sancho. You know, right now, I mean, Zexia is going to suffer because, I mean, if you look at the players that he has around him now, he has no technical ballers around him. And, you know, technical ballers with technical ballers, you know, they actually, more or less, you know, they work well with each other. Now, if you're playing with scrubs around you, unfortunately, it's going to affect your game as well. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. This manager doesn't like ballers. We've seen it. Pelestri's gone. That's kind of obvious. He just scored his first goal, funny enough, in his first game. with so and funny thing, I'm not trying to raise hopes or anything, but United, in terms of getting rid of these players, they've actually have buyback clauses. It shows that the club itself is trying to say, to the fans who are Ten Hag inners and everyone else, that yes, we're backing the manager. We're showing you that we're backing the manager. So when he fails, you can't come back at us and say we didn't back him. I feel like that's what they are trying to do, because you have to stand. You have to be at a point, because you just came into a club. You're not trying to piss off people. When people say we want this guy to stay and whatnot, you're not gonna try and piss them off. So, in essence, I feel like they want to get rid of the manager, but they don't want to piss off the fans at the same time. It's a PR move in a way.
Wow.
Right now, if they get rid of him, and which they will, he's not gonna last the season. Guys, I've said this. Remember, Nuruddin, I told you last season. I'm like, what are we gonna do when we keep this guy? We're wasting another season, essentially, because now he's not really gonna do anything coming into the season. We've been here for 2 straight seasons. We haven't seen anything. What are you expecting in the third season? Things don't, in football.
This is what it is earlier when my guy was talking about he's gonna wait and see, bro. Like, if you don't know what a manager's doing after 2 years, it's never gonna happen. Do you know what I'm saying? Because every manager that's come in, so every decent manager, Ange Postecoglou come in, and in pre-season you saw what he was about with Tottenham. Even though the results were up and down, the football was completely different. Maresca's come in, second game of the season, put 6 past Wolves. Like, all these guys, we saw Glasner come in at Crystal Palace, instant impact. All the decent coaches that have come in, you can at least, that's what I'm talking about. You can you can see the identity and what they're trying to do. This manager has no style of play, bro. Like, transitional football, like, transition in the game is a phase of play. It's not a style. Every team transitions, like, so. Transitional football is not a style of play.
It's not.
Man United are not. Man United have no style of play. The fact that we're all sitting here, none of us can pick a Man United 11 because we don't know what the manager's gonna do. 3 years in is an absolute shambles. And quite frankly, anyone making an excuse for him at this point, I really don't know, like, what your end game is. I don't know what I don't know what your end game is. Do you know
all
what
I'm saying? That, listen, the
pathetic.
pressure is on. For me, all this goes back to Ineos, innit? They kept him in a job, innit? Other managers were available, and they've kept him in a job. Like Hans Flick already at Barcelona. They're not just winning, but they're playing. They have clear, defined way of playing Barcelona. That's why they got rid of Gundogan. It's like Gundogan doesn't fit into that plan, the football that I want to play. Managers are brave about their certain things. So time will tell for me.
But this is what I like about Maresca. Maresca's made it very clear the players he doesn't rate and he doesn't want there. Do you know what I mean? Even Mudryk, he come out and he said, listen, like, Mudryk's end product ain't good enough. He's a decent technical player, but he don't make the right decisions. Following game, subbed off at halftime. Game after that, subbed off after 50 minutes. Then he jumps on the phone with Jadon and says, listen, Jadon, yeah, that left wing's yours, yeah. This Mudryk fella's not it. Mudryk ain't gonna play no more. Like, he's done. Do you know what I mean? Same thing with Raheem Sterling. He got told, you know what? I don't care if he came back to preseason early. You are not the kind of player that I need for my system. I know my system. I know the kind of players that I like, and you're not it. No disrespect to you. It's not that you're not a good player. You're just not going to get minutes here. I like that transparency. We're not getting this transparency from Ten Hag. This guy's trying to keep Scott McTominay, but you can't tell us what style of play that we're playing, bro. Like, it's an absolute shambles. Scott McTominay is not good enough for Manchester United. He never was. I'm hearing people crying, saying, oh, look at Scott, underneath Scott's send-off about, can't believe we let him go. Roy Keane didn't get a send-off, mate. I don't care about send-offs. Like, what are we talking about?
Like, and you know what? Our ex-players are the biggest pricks in the world. The Rios. These men, I don't know, they're getting paid by these agents or something. I don't know what they're doing. Crazy. Why are they prepping up PR? And now the Matic coming out saying...
Matic,
yeah, I'm like, fuck off, man.
Bro, listen, Matic is, as far as I'm concerned, Matic is a Chelsea player. Like, I don't care about the
that's it.
You never win Man United, mate.
He was at Man United for 5 minutes. I don't care about
Yeah,
that.
your
yeah.
best
Bro.
work. You won your
And you
league
know what?
titles with
That's another
Chelsea.
guy
You won fuck all.
That
Yeah.
he was on his last years of his contract, and Man United paid how many million? Over 20-something million for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Because
Listen,
they
whether we
wanted it.
like it or not, we are Chelsea's little bitch, man, and that hurts me because Manchester United are 3 or 4 times the size of Chelsea.
Guys. I mean, even if we face facts around this with Ten Hag, if they would have had a better consultation with Tuchel, because that was the guy that they clearly wanted. They met the guy, they spoke to him in person, and clearly whatever they had planned and what he thought was best didn't match up. They then ended up running back to Ten Hag on his holiday in Ibiza and begged him
It's
to
on
stay.
them. It's on them.
Listen,
on
at
them.
the end of the day, if you don't get a manager, okay, that's
It's on them.
cool. Go and get somebody else that fits what you want to do. But Ineos said it from the get-go when they came in, they're going to have this clear, defined way that they want the club to play. And we're going to be almost like how Ajax are. When you think of an Ajax team, you know how that team plays. When you think of a Barca team, you know how that team plays and how that club plays. We want to have that as well, supposedly. So by backing Ten Hag, if you're going to back the guy, okay, that's fine. He's going to have to show us this way that you guys have selected that you want to see the club play. And if he's not the guy to play it, go out there and find somebody. Listen, Spurs, Ange Postecoglou was not their number one manager on that list. He was not.
Actually, Arne Slot was their choice.
Arne Slot was their main manager.
They interviewed him and did everything, and they couldn't pay out his release clause.
Yeah, there you go. From Feyenoord, from when it was at Feyenoord. But they went out there and they looked at the sort of manager that they wanted to play a certain way, and Ange's name came up, and that fitted what they wanted. Listen, Glasner, before he went to Palace, guys, the guy was a Europa League winner. But there's a lot of people give him a lot of hype because of he won something. No, he plays a decent style. That's what gives him so much credibility to go to Crystal Palace and coach players. And Palace, from what they have at the academy system, they have a lot of good technical players. So bringing in a coach who has that same mindset to work with said players is going to work. What do we have? And that goes back to what I was saying before, Dino. When you look at the market right now, would you rather buy a young player from City's academy, which is a winning machine, or Man United's academy, which is a recipe for failure, wherever you go? And it's the same point. In the same case of that I've just said with the manager, if they get to Christmas, guys, you already know the script of what's going to happen. Ruud van Nistelrooy, interim coach, take over. We'll assess options at the end of the season and we'll pick somebody. Or, you never know, Ruud might do a great job. They might do an Oli 2.0. But at the end of the day, when we look at what Ten Hag has at his disposal right now, there is nowhere left to hide. Your year 3, listen, if you don't want to talk about the money, that's fine. He's had 3 or 3 years, that's fine. If you don't want to talk about those two things. He's got a squad pool of players, which he's worked with before, so are his kind of players that he likes. He's got the backing of the support from above. They gave him a new contract. It wasn't a long contract, but they gave him an extension. Yeah. The same point, he's got the structure above him now, which is going to put pressure on him, supposedly, to perform. He's got big things that are going for him. And the biggest thing that he always wanted was he wanted to select his own coaching staff. They give him that ability to pick coaches that he wants, not force coaches on him like Eric Ramsey or the fucking goalkeeping coach. Pick who you want, Eric, and we'll go and get them. So what excuse do you have? Nothing. There's no excuses anymore. And so if they've backed him through big decisions with Sancho, with the Rashford fucking shit. At the end of the day, there's only so much that you can back a guy before you look at the facts of it and say, hang on a minute, all we've done is won 2 cups. That's it.
Yeah, but even the 2 cups that we won, the horrible thing about the situation is, that the manager lacks so much self-awareness that it's actually sickening. Like when you see some of the quotes,
it's Jackie Nori stories, bro. If he was CBBC, bro, I swear to God, man's on CBBC, Jackie Nori, bro. I swear to God.
When you
see kids, he thinks we're children.
Bro, it's awful. Like when you see some of the stuff he says, he's like, we're the most successful team other than Man City in the last 2 seasons and that, bro. It's just like, brother, what are you doing? And you know what's killing me about Man United fans? It's like, bro, like when Van Gaal won the FA Cup and finished 5th on goal difference, no one was saying he deserved, he deserved another year. But all of a sudden, this guy that
Bumbaye did, to be fair, Bumbaye.
yeah, but I'm
That's
saying the general consensus
what-
wasn't
yeah,
that. Do you know what I'm saying? When this guy finishes 8th and he wins the FA Cup, due to some dubious VAR decision against Coventry, where we probably should have lost the game, like nobody's remembering.
Don't remind me, Don't remind
Like,
me
bro,
of that, bro.
Like,
I've never been so embarrassed in my life. United winning a football game.
Yeah, but
Never.
this is what I'm saying. And then even the FA Cup win as well against Newcastle, we are rubbish. Like Newcastle were battering us, and then we sucker punch Newcastle. That's what happened. Like we haven't played good football under his reign at all at any point. And this is the 3rd season. And
I can give you one game, bro.
he's being
I give you one game.
Shameless.
I give you one game.
What, the Spurs game you're gonna say?
Spurs game at Old Trafford.
There you go. Everyone's gonna say the one game.
70 minutes.
In 3 years. That exactly. This is my problem with the whole situation, and he's coming out being shameless, bro. Like Man United, Oli got to how many semis and lost the European Cup final on penalties. No one talks about we are a penalty shootout away from winning the European Cup under Oli. No one talks about it. It's fine margins in football, super fine margins. The same way, if that VAR decision, is not given, and it goes Coventry's way, we don't win that trophy. And if we win the penalty shootout, Ollie's got a European Cup. This is the fine margins in football. This guy can't use one game to try and justify his whole tenure or 2 games. The guy's been an abject failure, bro. 8th in the league,
you know what?
minus goal difference.
I'll give you another game. Barcelona, Old Trafford. That's somebody people said they enjoyed it in the Europa League. They're the 2 games people can remember. But big up Jarvis. Jarvis is a regular on the channel here. So Jarvis says, I've got to tell you, I'm in Prague, Czechoslovakia. The women are stunning. The drinks are strong. I'm just waking up, ready to hit the class. Nice, still young. And it's lit. Yo, Jarvis. He's not messing about. You know what? He looks like Rick Astley, innit? Never gonna give you up. Yo, he's out tonight, mate. Never gonna let you down, mate. Hold tight, Rick Astley out in Prague tonight. Have fun, Jarvis. You deserve it. You deserve it, lad. You deserve it. Enjoy, but take it easy on the drinks, innit? Because you might go with one that people that are not that so stunning. If you keep drinking, bro. If you keep drinking, it is what it is. Big Up Design says they're giving Eric Ten Hag rope to hang himself. Rude loading. Wow, that's a take and a half. Big up for the super chat design. Appreciate you, people. There's 500.
Even if that was the point, I would have rathered the
players, technical players around.
Yeah, I would have rather the club thought about the club long term, kept certain players, and that would have been it, bro. Because the thing is that the squad that we're building, I like the fact that we've trimmed the squad down and we've got rid of this nonsense. But even the stuff like with Pellistri, Pellistri was a full international playing well for Uruguay, and he got no chances under this manager. But then Garnacho can't get a game for Argentina, and you're rinsing him, bro. Like 35 starts or something in the Premier League. It's a disgrace. But Pellistri couldn't get a game, bro.
Donny van der Beek couldn't get a game, and you know what? Second game in the season, he's already set up a goal. 3rd game of the season, he set up a goal, man. But listen, the evidence is out where it's out. Bumbaye, last comment of the show, man. We've been live for 2 hours. Talk to me. Last point for the show. What you hoping for the season and from Eric Ten Hag and tomorrow?
Man, I think Eric Ten Hag, he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. A lot of baggage from previous
personally
seasons.
believe it's not that. I think majority of people will get behind
No,
it.
it is that, bro. It is
it's
that.
Up to him to show the fans something.
And listen, this is all nothing new to me anyway. I expected all of this, and it's like I keep saying, it's the right of people to have this take. I'm not here to tell people they're wrong. I'm here this season to find out if Eric Ten Hag is Eric Ten Hag or if it's bullshit. Last season for me it has been bullshit. Last season, if that's the thing that you want to latch on to, it's your right to do that. All the fans, that's fine. I'm here to find out this season with the players fit, with a few new toys to play with, what can he make of it? There was too many unknowns last season for me to bin him off. That's just me. So I'm waiting to see how this season progresses. If at a certain point down the line into the season, we're looking at this and we're thinking...
For all the years that I've known you, I've never actually heard you say get rid of a manager. So, to be fair, you are consistent. I've never heard you say been a manager. You know what I mean? Been a manager.
Look, I need to find out about this manager. Last season, I couldn't quantify anything. Half of the time we were spent on the shows, and you'd listen to all the YouTube channels. You know what? He needs a structure. Half of the shows is not his shit. Half of the shows was it's the players, it's not the manager. Nobody really knew what the hell's going on.
No,
But
we
we
knew.
knew, but we knew
Bro,
that it's
I was
bad.
at Galatasaray at home at Old Trafford. As Saeed, go and check out Saeed TV. I came out of that game and I knew.
Bro, okay,
I knew.
listen, we have been going round in circles for 11 years. Last season, there's too many. There's too many injuries for me. It was a disastrous season. So listen, if we had our team,
a good excuse, bro.
Bro, look,
even Eric Ten Hag has come out and said that's not a good excuse. He said worse teams, other teams have had worse injuries than us.
Yeah, Chelsea, and they finished above us.
Bro, look, one thing with Eric Ten Hag, he never makes excuses. He doesn't give the players room. He doesn't give the player. Bro, he doesn't. He didn't make. He didn't talk about the injuries last season.
He did. He kept saying he couldn't play the same back
four.
He said
Martinez. He basically kept saying one player, Martinez and Luke Shaw.
Boys, it was going on for the whole season. Towards the tail end of the season, he made that comment.
You're gonna get injuries.
No, bro, listen, it's up to you. Your take. This is my take. This is how I feel. I have to be fair to the guy. I could not sack him last year. So, listen, there is the very real possibility that you guys, if it starts to turn, you might start to turn as well.
Facts. Are you kidding me? I support Manchester United, mate. If United start playing better football,
what we're here to do is
Manchester United are scoring goals. If Manchester United are entertaining me when I go to Old Trafford, look, I'm gonna come. I'm not gonna tell you anything opposite.
Look, I'll finish with this.
And everybody's gonna have to. Bro, we're playing well.
Listen, let me finish with this. Yeah, I spoke to Mundo. I remember about Oli, and I said to him, look, and this was early on. Mundo says to me, you know what, Bombaye, I don't see it. I'm cutting my losses now. I don't see it. I said to him, I accept that, but I want to see to make sure because I'm not sure. And that's the difference there. That's where the divergence is. There's a lot of people that are saying this guy is not the guy. Fair enough. I couldn't say that off last season. There was too many injuries. I didn't get to see the players function. I didn't get to see a run of 10 games with the team. Too many injuries. So now we've got them. It's not about excuses. I'm looking to see some football. We have to get some results. We're a top 4 team. That's where we are. That's the aim.
I don't think we are.
What do you think we are?
I think we'll be lucky to finish in the top 6.
I said it, I'm literally saying we're gonna finish third. I said that from the signings that we were promised, and I thought if you get Tony or a left back, I thought we could go for third.
And the only reason why I think that is because the manager's not good enough, bro. When I look at the players, the thing about good managers is good managers get the team to perform, above like the sum of their parts, innit? And we don't have a man. We do not have a manager that's capable of doing that. These players have been carrying this manager, bro, and not the other way around. Like he hasn't tactically won us any football matches, and the problem is we got no style of play. And when I'm looking at our attackers, we've scored 57 and 58 goals in the 2 seasons that he's been managing.
Rants, listen. If we were to say,
Newcastle scored 85 goals, and we scored 57, and and these men finished below us.
Listen, Rance, if we were to say, let's stop now Eric Ten Hag's reign today, this second, and he resigns, I'd probably concur with you. This has not been good at all.
Okay.
I'd concur with you. Yeah, I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong. I'm here to watch this season unfold now because
so why do you think we're a top 4 team, my guy? Based on what?
Based on the squad that we've got. That's where we are in the conversation for a top 4 spot. We're not in a conversation to win a league.
I don't think we are. I don't think we are.
Fine, we might come 5th, we might come 6th, but we have to have an expectation of Eric Ten Hag, don't you agree? Get into that top 4.
He should get into the top 4, but one, I don't
That's
think
the conversation we're in.
One, I don't think he's good enough. And 2, when you look at Manchester United, for 2 seasons, we struggled to score goals. And when you look at the individuals we have, he has not put together a system that creates chances on its own. And we don't have the players with the ability. Today, I watched Brighton play, and I saw Brighton bring in Ciso, off the bench. I saw Brighton bring
very good squad
off the bench.
Very strong.
what's the other? Adingra off the bench. They had João Pedro starting. They had Matoma starting. They got better attackers than us. Like I watched West Ham today.
Cohesive football.
I watched
All right,
West Ham today with Bowen, Kudus, Paqueta. Like they got better attackers than
all right,
us.
a
Bro,
question
we've
then
got
on the
a
back of
bottom
that.
half of the table attack, bro. Like,
All right, a question on the back of that observation of yours then. Is my expectation that we are in the hunt for a top 4 spot realistic, or are you saying those teams have better squads? Doesn't that then make
no,
it
not better
lessen the
squads,
expectation?
better attacks, and we don't score
And their
goals.
coach
So,
better.
so
Their
what
coach
does that?
better.
All right, okay,
Their
hang on.
coach better, bro.
All right, bro, listen. So if
Mm.
they've got better personnel in attack, what does that say about the expectation that we have the right to, given our squad and the toys he's got to play with?
Yeah, but
Because
by
the
design,
managers-
we spent 700 million. The reason why it's like that, we just gave Sancho to Chelsea to play alongside Joao Felix and Pedro Neto and then
Bro,
Cuckoo.
bro,
Do you
look.
know what I'm saying? We just gave him to them, bro. Like,
Do you know the Sancho thing? The Sancho thing, man. You've got a player there, yeah. That let's say everything you guys are saying about Sancho is 100% on the money. Let's just assume you are absolutely correct, without a doubt. What do you do with a player like that?
what do you mean? What do you do with him?
You have to get him gone.
No, what do you
have
mean?
to get him gone.
Yeah. You back the
Do you
manager.
get what I'm saying?
So
You've
they
got
back
to
the
get him
manager.
gone, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. There's two ways you can look at it. You can look at it in a way where you're a football club, yeah, and you look at the player as an asset. You know the quality that the player has, and you say to the manager, "Listen, yeah, like sort it out in it because, bro, you're both employees of the football club, both of you." Do you know what I'm
Rance, that's
saying? Like,
idealistic, brother.
or-
He's not.
no,
You don't want him there.
Bruv, based on what Ten Hag's done, he shouldn't be at the football club anyway. That's the way
shouldn't?
I say it. Ten Hag,
Who
based on what he's done at Man United, yeah.
Bro, leave that aside. I'm telling
Finishing
you,
eighth. No, he shouldn't be at the football club. My
bro,
thing is, we've let
he is at
Sancho
the
go,
football club.
and we haven't replaced him. So if you're gonna let Jadon Sancho go, and you know you're letting Sancho go and get Matoma or go and get someone. Bring someone in. Do you know what I mean? The fact that they've not brought no one in, our attack is weaker than it's ever been. We've lost in this window.
And
Mason
Anthony,
Greenwood,
for me, I don't
he's
count
left.
Anthony, by the way. I don't count
We've
Anthony.
lost Greenwood, Martial, and Sancho in the same window for all different reasons. Whatever. Our attack is as weak as
And
I've ever
Anthony's
seen it
dead
in my
footballer, man.
life. My 30 plus years supporting this club, I've never seen a weaker attack than what we have right now. Amad Diallo, yeah, as good as he is in terms of his ability, he's unproven at the Premier League level. Like, we don't know how good he can be for the whole season, bro. What, we're going to rely on him for the whole season? Garnacho played 30-something games and scored like 7 goals. He's not ready. He's not levels, bro. Do you know what I mean? Højlund is not ready. He's not ready to lead the line at Man United. Xerxes is an unknown quantity in the Premier League. Like, all of these guys, and Anthony is a nothing player. So our attack, yeah, is probably not even as good as Crystal Palace's. And then on top
Why
of that...
Why are you pressing me, Rant? Stop it!
No, but bro, we have to keep it real. Greenwood has scored 5 goals in 3 games for Marseille. Like, bro, we have to keep it real, yeah? Based on our attack, yeah? Bro, a lot of teams in the bottom half of the table, if they woke up with our attacking options, yeah, they would shit themselves.
But not even that. But listen, but you know what? If to me, if you had a good coach, like real hands-on coach,
Brother, if we had a proper
coach,
coach, I would be relaxed with these players. But the fact is, we don't have a coach that has a system that creates chances. And when you don't have a system that creates chances, you need players that create chances. How do we even get the ball into Xerxes?
And you know what? Ollie Ball. Give me Ollie Ball to create chances. Ollie Ball was creating chances, scoring 4 or 5.
Bro, how come Ollie is a coach with no experience compared to Ten Hag, yeah? And he was scoring goals, bro. We were scoring 5, 6, 7s, 8s and that under, bro. And Ten Hag, under Ten Hag, we ain't scored more than 4 goals under this manager, bro.
Have we scored more than 3 goals?
I don't think we've scored more than 4. I don't think we scored more than 4. It might be 3 even. We average 1.1 goals a game under this manager. It's a disgrace.
First season, 58 goals in the Premier League. Next season, 57. Wow. Listen, guys, we can talk about this. Go ahead. Last word from you, Tom, and then Alesso. Then we will head out. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we don't score enough goals as a team. It's a fact. And at the end of the day, over the last 12 months, they've invested in 2 kids that they believe are going to bring them success in scoring goals in the future. But the project players, The difference is the players that they brought in this window, if they do dump Erik ten Hag off on the M6 and they don't end up sticking with him, that's okay. They've still got players that they've brought into this club that are young enough that can still play for another manager and still improve. The difference is, when we look at Ten Hag's coaching credentials, has he really uplifted and improved loads of players? I don't really think he has. I don't think he's revolutionised the way that we play. Only thing that you can maybe give him credit for is that he's brought young players into this squad quite well, and he's given young players a chance. That's one thing that I will give him. He's given players like Garnacho a chance, Kobe a chance. He's given players chances. But there's only so much time that you can look at the players that he brought in before without a structure, that they are still our players. I think people do forget this. We did still sign these players. Erik ten Hag still said yes to these players. He's got to answer questions for what Mason Mount is going to give us other than just pressing. If he's not going to give you goals and assists, what are we doing in this situation? If Mason Mount ain't giving you goals and assists in that position, Sancho can give you goals and assists, and you've just shipped him off to Chelsea. And this myth that you can't get players to press or you can't get players to run, it's crap. There's ways and means that you can get around it. Listen, you have players that have bad attitudes. You know, they don't really, you know, they're late for training, this, that, the other. But when it comes to match day, guys, they still bang goals in the back of the net. They're still consistent. And at the end of the day, the way that we have run in this window in particular, yeah, we've negotiated a bit better. I don't think we've been ripped off like we have done in the last couple of years. But the only problem is, when you get rid of a player at this club, you ideally have to replace them with somebody. And the fact of that we didn't replace Sancho with anybody of any sort of quality makes me worried, because you are one injury, and we always use this at Man United, you are one injury away from what we already know is going to come back. If you've got an injury in defence, guys, you're back to Maguire and Lindelof. We had that 5 years ago. If you have one injury on the right-hand side, who the fucking hell do you play there? If Ahmad's out, who do we play there? You've just sold Palestri. You've got no kids really coming through the academy as attackers. Forson went in the window as well on a free transfer. So Rashford can't play on the right. Sancho could play on that, but he's not your player anymore. Garnacho's not a right winger. What the fuck do we do? Mason Mount, for all his credit anyway, he can play there, but he's not useful there. So we're fucked. And we say this all the time, guys. You're one injury away from fucking disaster at this club. So this myth that we've improved squad depth, what have you improved? You've improved fuck all.
It's going to be very interesting, man.
It's 3 years. It's 3 years deep. It's 3 years in. There's nowhere to hide it, Ten Hag. You've got everything you wanted, fella. So you've got to show us something now. You've got to show us some results.
And by the way, he also asked for the squad to be trimmed, and the squad is trimmed.
Well, there you go. It's trimmed. They've given him what he wants. Financially speaking, guys, we're a bit better sounded. We have a net spend now. We don't have this fucking just negative number, like 200 million, and then we don't really sell any players. But at the end of the day, guys, the people that are above him, I trust in their judgment that if things are going shit, they're going to have a solution to get us out of it. Better than what Richard Arnold and John Murtough had. Because if they sacked Ten Hag, I guarantee you they'd get on the phone to someone, like a fucking Ollie or a Rude or somebody, and just say, oh, we need some help here, guys. Can you just see the season out for us until we get a plan to do something? These guys, for me, if they got rid of Ten Hag at Christmas, I don't necessarily think that they might go down the interim route. I think they'll just appoint somebody if there's the right manager out there.
Well, Rude is there, innit? Rude is there.
Well, Rude's there. It's a safety
Rude is there for the insurance.
If you want to use it, if you want to use it as an insurance policy, he's there. But if not, guys, at the end of the day, the players that we still bought now, like the age profiling of these players, they've still got a career to come at Man United.
Now, let's talk about that, Tom. Quickly, I'll just say quickly. That's a good plus. The oldest player we bought in this transfer is 26 years old. That's Masraoui. And that's a fact that I can't argue with. Like I said, I'm not Ineos, and they're not my guys. But that fact I can't argue with.
It's a different policy to what we've done before with Varane.
And that's why we didn't do the Sterling thing either. And I'm really, really, really like glad that we didn't do the Sterling thing. But I wish him luck.
Yeah.
I wish Sterling luck. I don't think he's a bad player, but I just feel a decline. And I've got PTSD of all these Deadwood Simmerframe FC coming to my football club. But people, it's been a pleasure, man. Rants, I appreciate you jumping on, King. Let the people know we're doing a watch along tomorrow for United Liverpool. It'll be live an hour before the game kicks off. So make sure you check him out on there. And he's already 100K plus. You know what I mean? Him and Saeed, congratulations. Independent. Nobody can talk to you. Nobody's backing no company. This, none of that. Says whatever you want. Whatever, everything that you're in control of. So that's the reason why that I appreciate channels like that. Like 100% wise, when you come from my boy Highland, do I agree with that agenda? When they come from the little lad Garnacho, I don't agree with that. But I watch your content and everything you say.
We have to keep the standards high.
No, 100%. But everything you say though is 100% authentic, and it's how you see your football. And that I can't say that for the rest of the YouTubers, bro. I can't say that for these channels. I can't say that. Genuinely, I can't say that because you're not doing anything to kind of clickbait people.
I hear you.
Call it as you see it. You call it as you see it. So that's why I love and respect you and Saeed, man. Trust me, above most people who have got like. And I think if there was any justice in this world, you guys would be having 1 million each because you guys work hard. This ain't easy, but because you don't follow the sheep.
Yeah, man. Honestly, bro, you have to bite your tongue and you have to perform to get those kind of numbers. I'll be real. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just how it is, man.
But then that means you've been fake, then, innit? You've been fake.
Well, exactly. If you want mainstream numbers, then do you know what I mean? You gotta have mainstream opinions, innit? Like this is just what it is, man. We know what the game is. So do you know what I mean? We grow slowly and we grow organically, man.
I think your opinions tonight, boys, is the mainstream. I feel I'm in a minority.
It's not. You might be the minority here, but trust me, online.
Yeah, the mainstream is with you.
The mainstream is with you, because if it wasn't, the manager wouldn't be here. Because when these guys were writing letters to the owners to tell them to keep this guy after he finished 8th, it definitely wasn't. It wasn't me, mate. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that.
Rance was ready to book the flights to Eric tonight, you know.
By the same token, though, you're talking to somebody that doesn't know no social media.
Yeah.
So it's just what I see. I'm not on they tell you.
You don't do social media. You don't do social
media.
So
I can tell you for sure you're not in the minority.
You're not, bro. You're not. You see on here, you're always the minority on here, because we go to games and we see it with our own eyes, bro. But it's
don't chat like you know what you're talking about. Stop.
I call it as I see it. We've been arguing football since we were 10 years old, people. If you know, you know. But listen, big up to Rants, yeah. Big up Bombay, not on social media. You only find him on this channel. Let's Talk Football. Make sure you check out Black Rain on Twitter and Rants and Bants across all across Instagram, TikTok. You know what I mean? YouTube. So big up to you. I'm Mr. Structure. We'll be back tomorrow I'll either be doing a watch along for Saeed or I'll be in the game watching the game. You know how it is. These pagans are making it harder for people like me to find a seat in that stadium. You know how it is. Days don't fit sometimes, but it's what it is. We do what we do, people. But yeah, if you wanna see me battle Manchester United sheep fans on Twitter, you know I'm always there. That guy, Red Devil, people always coming out for me saying, you know.
Should we roll this show back with the same host in about 3 months? So maybe all of these opinions might change.
Yeah, like I said to you, everybody will be because the facts are the facts, aren't they? So if everything
let's see.
develops a style of play, Manchester United score more goals and win more games. I don't think anybody's going to play. And Manchester United look like they're improving. I don't think anybody's going to play, and we play better football. Nobody's going to be like, oh, get rid of him. No, because it's about what you see. The content is a reaction to what you see. No agendas here on the manager. I want the manager to do well. I want Manchester United to do well. But when it's not going great, I'm not gonna get some magicians come out and tell me what I see is not what I see, bro. That ain't gonna happen. And that's being authentic. So big up anyway. But love and light, man. We'll say free Palestine, free the Congo, free Sudan, free Tigray, free Ugarte, free the people who are oppressed. Rants, big up. You're live tomorrow, and then you do the match reaction afterwards, don't you? So big up. What watch are you doing tomorrow? Are you doing any other watch?
Chelsea and Juve as well. Juve Roma.
Sancho making a debut, yeah? Oh, man.
No, they're announcing him tomorrow, but he won't play. They'll just
Oh, yeah, it's not
announce
registered.
him.
He's not registered, innit? He's not registered.
Yeah, but he'll play the next game more than
Big up.
likely. But I'm looking forward to seeing the Juventus Roma game. That's going to be a good game as well.
That's good. Is that at night? Is that at night or the daytime?
Yeah, 7:45.
Wow, I'm gonna watch that. Yo, Roma just signed that guy that we were linked with as well. They signed bare ballers, man. Big up De Rossi. I like him, man. I like De Rossi. Big up. Love people. Good night. Bumbaye, see you tomorrow. Let's see you tomorrow for the match reaction. Good night, people.
Good night,
Free
fellas.
Palestine.
Big up.